Imagine a year where a giant plant bores people in a Shakespearean tragedy.
I genuinely don't know what year that is, Zach. What year was that?
The year is 1986.
Okay, and what movie was it?
Yeah, where I'm around.
Well, man, oh my god, that portal was so trippy, man. Oh my god, I'm like super drugged up because of Sandro last week. He gave me some drugs and now I'm high.
I did!
Oh my god, it's my spectral projection of Sandro.
That's
hey,
me.
man.
Hello, I'm you, but in your mind.
Yo, that's super fly, man.
I'm here to guide you on your magical trip that you got from the Get Out of the TV antidote.
Oh, I'm not in the TV anymore. Where am I, man? I don't even know.
Are in Skid Row.
Oh, Skid Row, man. Hey, this place, you know what? A drug addict? That makes sense, you know, that I'm just here, high on drugs, ready to be fed to some monstrous demon plant from outer space.
Oh, speaking of, it's right here.
Hi.
Whoa!
Oh my god,
man.
it's a so horrifying, scary demon plant.
Oh my god, it's a talking plant. Whoa, dude.
I feel like I look like the cow plant from The Sims, so.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah.
How's it hanging?
Leafy.
Oh.
Yeah, that checks out.
That's a plant pun.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because you're a plant. I get it. Yeah, man.
Zach, I'm in your mind.
Yeah, so is everything, man. I'm in like a coma or something.
No,
man.
they don't exist.
How do I get drugged in my own coma? How does that make any sense?
I don't know, but if only there was some sort of exposition that something could give you about this scenario.
Isn't that your job, Sandro?
I'm also high because I'm in your brain.
Oh, that makes sense, because I've been drugged, that you've been drugged as well. We're both high as a kite.
And I'm not really
Skid Row.
Sandro either.
Oh, what do you mean?
Because I'm in your brain. Yeah.
Well,
So I'm actually you, actually.
well, everything's in my brain, because I'm in a
But-
coma.
But comas don't exist.
Does that mean that I'm Zach too?
No, you're a plant.
Oh. I'm a government plant.
Whoa!
Oh my god, I'm bringing it back! I'm bringing
Oh,
it back!
true. That's right. I forgot canonically you're part of the space-time government.
Space-time government! I am. And that's why I'm here to tell you.
Oh my god, the
Whoa.
plants are part of the space-time government. I was pretty slow on that one, actually,
Yeah.
wasn't I? I was kind of slow on the...
It was a reference
Because you're
to...
drugged. Yeah.
I am
You should watch the podcast more.
Yeah, you
Sandro.
should
Keep
actually
up.
listen.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is an Inception situation.
Whoa,
you need to figure it
dude.
out.
What do you mean?
That's all I can say. But
I don't
if you want to know more, I need.
'cause I'm high.
I want to talk about this movie.
What movie, man? I don't even know what you're talking
What?
about, man.
We need to find a way for Sandro, who's not me, to be in a mask and say it was me the entire time before we get into the episode itself.
Well,
Oh my god, who's that in the distance of a 1960s Chicago, New York, LA situation?
Hey, I'm doing scams over here.
whoa. And wait a minute, that sounds like Sandro.
Zach, it was
Sandro
me the
just-
entire time.
Whoa. I don't know why you couldn't have just done that reveal as my, like, projection thing instead of making up a
Don't
brand
talk
new
about
character.
me. I'm inside of your head.
Shut up.
As someone
brain
with a
projecting.
psychology degree, this makes me upset.
Hello, welcome to Oldie Buddy Goodie.
Oh,
Hi.
hello.
Hello, we're joined by Han, who's a plant, who's also a time agent, and may have some important plot things for Zach at the end of the episode.
Whoa.
Oh my god, Zach, we're talking about Little Shop of Horrors.
Wait, Little Shop of Horrors, that explains where we are right now. And the whole voring plant thing?
Oh,
Now
that
it makes
explains
sense.
it.
Yeah.
That explains it.
Wow.
Yes.
What a movie.
Well, before we get to the movie, though, Zach, what the fuck is that in front of you? That's new.
This is a microphone.
What?
I don't know if you've encountered that. Actually, we all have one at the
Never heard of her.
moment.
Microphone, barely know her.
Good one.
That was pretty. That's pretty.
Yeah. Hit that with a boom. There we go.
We'll get to
Comedy
that
hour.
in a second. We'll get to that
But
in a second.
Sandro, you've got a new setup. You've
Oh,
set this up. This is all yours.
This is all me. Well, my partner helped me make the desk. That was very nice of them. But
It's a good desk.
Yeah,
It's a solid
It
desk.
was fine. The instructions were terrible. So if it falls apart, we can blame the instructions.
Or whoever you bought it from.
I think
True, yeah.
good craftsmen blame their tools. I think that's the saying. So
Yeah.
I think that neurotypical people just say that because they're assholes.
We're in a podcast studio. It's what we've been talking about for like 10 episodes, Zach.
Oh, that's true. We have been like, and next week we're gonna be.
Didn't you have
in the
these
new
mics
setup.
in a box for like
I had these mics in a box
months?
in a spare room for like probably 2 months.
2 months?
Yeah. So we're getting the kinks out of the way,
Hey, yo.
Hey.
getting those vores out of the
Speaking
way.
of, okay, but
Misogyny, whatever.
I have a genuine question.
Yes.
And if anyone write in on YouTube, leave a comment down below.
Sure.
Does vor have to be sexual? Or can you just kind of find pleasure in being eaten?
Well, welcome to the conversation talk show AM show. That's a great question. What's your response, Zach?
Well, as a professional vorer, someone who's
Oh.
done
A vorist?
You just eat things. You just eat
A
food,
hortive-
Zach.
I've been voring
Vorist.
all my life.
You've just been eating. Boo.
You're the one who put me up on this platform. You can't just knock me down out of it. You just stupid sound effect.
It's so annoying. That's so annoying.
I love it.
Thank you.
Oh dear. That is too much power for you.
It's a lot of
You
power.
should not be given that. I have no fucking clue.
Me
I
neither.
don't know.
I don't care.
I
Like,
don't care.
Maybe it's like, a comfort thing where you're like surrounded by someone's stomach.
Well, because
right? You're
it's
trapped in a.
it's like
a
meant
thing.
to be
It's like when you
in
snuggle
the
up
womb, right?
Yeah,
and like
you
humans
snuggle up in a sleeping bag.
Yeah,
except the sleeping
humans
bag's
inherently
a
we're
person.
like to be warm and snuggled. I get
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I mean, I've got the Wikipedia up. It does say that it
Why?
is mostly like an erotic
sexual
desire.
thing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
is.
think voring specifically, when you mention vor, that's probably an erotic thing.
I just
Yeah.
different strokes.
And that's all we got time for here. Let's get back to all the goody goody.
over.
So yeah, we got like a podcast mixer thing. It's got a bunch of sound effects on it that we're gonna get bored of halfway through the episode and then never use again. All right, we're gonna talk about the Little Shop of Horrors. We're gonna do non-spoilers and then spoilers. Now, I've seen this before. Zach, you hadn't seen this before.
I have not seen this before.
I have not either.
But had you seen clips from this?
I've seen the Family Guy parody of the...
Wait, there's a Family Guy parody.
There's a Family Guy parody of specifically the scene where she sings about the green or
Oh,
something.
green, yeah.
Yeah,
Somewhere green.
Somewhere
Something
green.
green, somewhere
Something.
green.
The Better Homes and Gardens songs.
Yeah.
I call
Yeah,
that
the
one,
Better
yeah.
Homes and Gardens one. Yeah. Family Guy did a parody where they get Herbert the pervert to
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
the singing bit
Right.
in a dress, and he's singing about his dream of living with Chris.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
But I've seen that one.
Right.
And now I've seen where it's come from, and I was like, oh, this is what it was parodying.
So that's all you... Okay, so that was
That
your
was my
previous
only-
knowledge.
Yes, knowledge.
Okay,
That
and...
and general plant like
Puppetry.
parodies. Yeah,
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 like
of
the
course.
whole like plants eating people
Yeah.
has
Yes.
been done a lot.
For sure.
For sure.
And what had you seen of this before? Han from Twitch?
What?
Well,
When did you fucking get here? What happened to the plant?
I am.
We're all in Zach's
Where-
mind. It doesn't mean anything.
It's an Alice in Wonderland
not a-
situation.
Not a coma.
I don't know.
Comas
I
don't
don't-
exist.
I don't-
What did you see before this movie?
okay, I had seen one clip,
Ooh.
one song, which is a spoiler of who is in it.
Yes.
But it is the character that plays the dentist, and it is his song.
Yeah.
And I was like, I saw that clip and I saw it on TikTok, obviously, because like I have no attention span, so
Yeah,
like,
of course.
I don't look up
Relatable.
stuff on YouTube. And I was like, oh my god, I need to fucking watch this because I was like, this is so funny. And if you know anything about me, you know that this actor, I have a very big crush on this actor, which is very funny when people are like, really? And I'm like, he's funny.
It's true.
And that's all I'd seen. Obviously, like in the cultural zeitgeist,
Yes.
being into horror and musicals, you do know about.
There's only a couple of them out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I think
I think
it's
we can
like,
spoil the actor's name, right?
well, it's in the credits, but like
he's in the. Well, there's another cameo that's
that's
probably more of a cameo that we probably
yeah.
shouldn't spoil. But yeah, like
He's
is
like a main character. I feel
yeah,
like we can
I guess.
spoil.
Well, he's
the actor.
credited at the very start of the movie, so I
Yeah.
guess we can say that Steve Martin is in this.
I have a
Steve
crush on Steve
Martin.
Martin. Don't tell him.
That's fair. That's fair. And also, Rick Moranis is in this from Ghostbusters and shit.
Pog.
Whoa!
We love that guy. He's so funny.
Honey, I bored my wife.
It's true. That is exactly what. Zach, first impressions. What did you think of this movie?
Oh, this movie was great.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it a lot.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of
and
fun?
not just the boring.
Oh.
Like,
Hey,
yo.
actually,
This is gonna be so long.
I'm just
Just
John
because
Candy.
you're just like doing the sound effects and then we're laughing at it.
Yeah, exactly.
this is going to be 2 hours of us laughing at dumb sound effects.
Well, there is a segment in this movie where John Candy shows up as like a radio host, and he's just doing. He's just doing this.
That's so funny. We have Steve Martin and him
Yeah.
in the same movie because this isn't the only movie
Trains,
that we've seen.
planes.
Oh my god,
and
they're both in
automobiles.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I
They
didn't
are
even
the
make
two
that
main
connection.
characters, yeah.
That came out 87, so the year after this.
There you go.
That's fantastic, yeah.
yeah.
Going back to some first impressions, though, Zach.
Stop.
You
please.
enjoyed this movie. You thought it was
This
fun.
episode's going to end with me killing
This
you
is
in
gonna
real
be-
life.
This is not.
It won't be sound effect. People would be like, "Wow, that killing sound effect was really realistic." Yeah, it was.
Do I have one on my computer?
Oh
Probably.
my god!
I'll try and find
Please
it later.
Stop. All right.
Do you have a killing sound effect on your computer?
I've done
plate
sound
smashing
effects
one.
for so many shows, so many
Yeah.
theater shows, and I'm sure there's been some
I've murdered
death
a
in
few
some of
people
them.
on this
Questionable.
podcast.
Yeah.
Same.
What?
Huh? First impressions. A good movie.
Yeah.
I liked the songs.
Yeah.
Songs were great.
Yeah.
I liked some of them more than others, especially the green one that I
The
mentioned.
green one
earlier.
was really good. I really
Somewhere
liked
Green's
that.
fun, yeah.
Yeah, Somewhere Green. That one was a banger. I really liked that one.
Because Ellen Green is actually a musical theater performer.
Yeah.
So she's actually a singer.
Yeah, the actor who
there you go.
plays Audrey, is Ellen Green, who essentially her audition for the movie was she was in the original stage play.
Yeah.
She played the character in the stage play.
Which, I think that translated so well.
Yeah.
Because,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I agree.
She was great.
it was so campy and, like, her performance was great.
She's very Singing in the Rain coded.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like-
she feels like she's from a different movie.
Yeah.
Very, like, ditzy, but in like, the best way. Do you know
in
what I
an
mean?
endearing way.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she's great. And Rick Moranis, he did all of his singing for this. He's in one other musical where he also plays an arsehole. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Because
That
he
is
usually
so
plays...
weird. That's
he-
so juxtaposition to, like, the awkward, nerdy,
Yeah.
like, boy next door characters that he normally plays.
Yeah, he always plays like the nerd, but in this one random movie called Streets of Fire, which is an action crime neo-noir musical with Willem Dafoe,
Pog?
it's fine. It's
Wait,
alright.
have you seen it?
I've seen it. I thought it was kind of boring, but I'd be down to rewatch it. He essentially plays Steve Martin's character in this movie.
That's so
well, that's
funny.
what I was going to say. I don't think I've ever seen Steve Martin play a bad guy.
Steve Martin? Not really.
I've seen him play, like, not bad guys, but, like, guys that are doing the wrong thing for the right reason.
Yeah,
Which
for
is,
sure.
like, a lot of, I guess, like family comedies
in-
where he's,
in-
like, the dad and
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah. Like,
oh, I'm going to break my daughter up with her boyfriend because I don't like him. And then
Yeah.
it's like, you just have a weird Electra complex with your daughter.
yeah.
But, seeing him play, like, an actual bad guy with no
Yeah,
redeeming
yeah, with no
qualities,
redeeming
it was
qualities.
very funny. And I giggled the whole time.
It was very funny.
He's great.
Like in Trains, Planes, Automobiles, he's like just kind of grumpy
Yeah.
and just wants to get home.
He wants to get home to his family and, like,
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
like really upset with the whole situation.
like,
which
and
is
rightly
very
so.
relatable.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. He's kind of an asshole in that, but also like it's like a based asshole.
Yeah, like-
he's
Well,
a based
I
asshole.
mean, also, like, isn't he we're not here to discuss that, actually.
We've already done Planes,
No,
Trains, and
but-
Automobiles.
Isn't he, like, a high-profile lawyer? So, like, why wouldn't he be stressed and,
That's true.
and
Yeah,
grumpy
yeah,
and
yeah, for
probably
sure,
fucking
absolutely.
high on coke all the time because,
Same.
and, like,
That's right.
coming down. Anyway,
I'm high right now because Simon drugged me, man. Yeah. Please.
that was too much.
That was a lot of clapping, wasn't it?
That was actually too much.
All right, Han, what were your first impressions on the movie Little Shop of Horrors?
Yeah, I really liked it.
I can't wait for all the comments to be like, what the fuck was with all these sound effects?
I'm gonna so the idea for the soundboard is we're gonna put like plate smashing and stuff in it.
Yeah.
I haven't had time to, so we just got these stock ones so far.
I like the stock ones though. I think you should.
Yeah. That transition one is pretty good. The clapping one needs work.
There's one other one that I haven't played yet on the show.
Play it. Oh yeah, we're gonna get bored.
It's war time.
It's war time.
It's war
You said
time.
it's boring time.
Anyway,
Bored all over the
first impression.
My first impressions I
We're
have.
16 minutes into the
Jesus
episode.
Christ. I thought that it was good. Yeah. The songs were great. I thought the soundtrack was amazing.
Yes.
I thought it was honestly going to be a little bit more like other 80s musical, like film musicals that came out. So I thought it was going to be more like Rocky Horror, which it wasn't, but not in a bad way.
For sure.
I thought the stage production was really good. I thought the set was really funny because it actually looked like a set, like a musical theater stage set.
Yes.
Like you could see that whoever was working on the sets had gone to great lengths to make it look like a set, and the facades were like so obviously facades.
Yeah.
and,
Yes. Yeah.
like the painted backgrounds and the costuming was so good. Like each character had their own costume and like colors that they had. The puppeteering was great.
Yes.
Oh, the puppeteering was really
It is directed by Miss Piggy and Yoda themselves,
when
Frank Oz.
I found that out, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's Miss Piggy!"
Yes.
And
He
then-
doesn't voice any characters in this, which is really interesting. But he did direct it, which is good.
So I don't know a lot about the Muppets, but like,
I do. So
Yeah.
all right.
We've done a lot of Muppets here. We've done one of them.
I spent my childhood watching
So
Muppets.
like Frank
so I'm
Oz
practically an
is Miss
encyclopedia.
Piggy,
Yes.
but like he was also in the production of the Muppets. Like, did he write and direct?
Yeah,
any
Frank
of the
Oz and
Muppets?
Jim
Yeah,
Henson
yeah.
are good friends, so they pretty
Right,
much
so they're
did the whole
both
thing.
puppeteers then. Like
Yeah.
Frank Oz, because I was like, when spoilage for there's a plant, and it it like opens, and I'm like, lol, it looks like Kermit because like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
had that
yeah.
like
Yeah.
kind of Pac-Man
Yeah.
like
and
mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I was
Pac-Man
like,
mouth.
oh, this is very like the Muppets, but for adults.
Yeah.
That is kind of what the vibe is. I think that's probably what Frank Oz was going for, because this is 86. I can't remember what year we did that Muppets movie that we reviewed on the podcast.
No clue.
No idea when we did that, but that would have probably been before this. So Muppets was like at their height of like popularity, and then Frank Oz was probably like, I'm gonna make this. It's kind of like how Peter Jackson made his gory Muppet movie before he did Lord of the Rings.
I have some criticisms.
Oh, I love some criticisms of Little
Yeah.
Shop of Horrors.
Now, I said everything that I liked about this film.
Yes.
Without spoiling anything.
Yes.
Okay.
But I thought there was too much product placement. And as most films do, have product placement.
Yeah.
But there's too much product placement in the songs.
In the song.
They say
No, but that was funny.
it was funny, and I just find it annoying. I
Oh.
find it annoying because I thought also this is my second criticism.
Yeah.
Needed to be goobier. Needed to be wetter.
Wetter.
What did? Oh, Audrey too.
Yes.
The plant
The
itself.
plant. The plant needed to be goobier.
Oh,
A little bit
it could've been
slimier.
I mean,
a
it
little
could have
bit-
been a little gooey.
little
Yeah,
bit
I could see that.
Wetter.
But
No,
the movie is
but-
also meant to be like a stage play.
I understand
Yeah.
that, but
But
I think it would be funny if they got like a KY jelly sponsorship.
That would be
too.
pretty
That-
funny.
that-
Or like
that
a
is fair.
Vaseline sponsorship.
Yeah.
That is fair.
Because
That would have
you get
been
a
funny.
coffee brand sponsor. Why?
Sure.
It's not relevant.
fair.
It's not relevant.
I bet they were trying, but they couldn't get it in time for the movie, you know?
Maybe.
Should have talked to.
But also,
Ridley
one of the
Scott.
plot points in the movie is that its leaves are very dry. That's literally
That's
something
true.
that the character says.
and he
So-
wants the redacted.
I think part of the reason why this movie is also trying to be so obviously like a movie is one, because it is based off a stage play. But the stage play itself is actually based off a cheesy 60s horror movie
Lol.
called The Little Shop of Horrors
Ah.
by Roger Corman, who directed like...
Wait, so is this
Hundreds
just
of movies.
Little Shop of Horrors?
This is just Little Shop of
Right,
Horrors.
there's
The
no
Little
the.
Shop of Horrors.
But they did obviously get permission to make this as well.
This movie is a remake of a stage musical that is a remake of a film.
It's like Hairspray, which is
Yeah.
like Hairspray,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
musical,
yeah.
is
Yes.
a film version of the stage show Hairspray, which is based off the non-musical movie Hairspray
Yes.
that
Yeah.
John Waters made in
Yeah.
the 70s.
yeah,
Which tends to happen a lot. That tends
it's
to happen
awesome.
a lot.
I love it.
got it.
And apparently this was filmed on the James Bond lot. This movie.
There you go.
Yeah, it was filmed on the James Bond lot, which is pretty cool. Not sure what James Bond movie is shot here, but
I'm sure there's some car chase or something.
stuff.
Some running
Well, there
through the
was a
city.
lot of buildings blowing up at the end.
Yeah.
we should get to that. We watched the
Spoilers.
director's cut.
And the director's cut is awesome.
So how many endings are there?
There's just 2.
Oh, well,
there's
that's
2.
not that exciting.
But this
Yeah.
is the way the stage show ends.
Nice.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Like, holy fuck! All right,
Yeah.
that's so cool.
There is another
true.
ending, very similar to Blade Runner. There's another ending where they shot this, they put it
Like
in front
a
of...
happy ending.
Yeah, they put this version in front of test audiences and they were like, boo!
Yeah, because Americans don't know anything. I understand why it wasn't as like slimy. Back to my point, because I'm very passionate
Okay,
about
yeah,
how
slime.
slimy.
Very passionate about the sliminess of this.
I was like hoping for some wet blood and slime and
Right.
a bit more. It was very dramatic. Like, and this is not spoilers, but there's scenes where violent things happen
For sure.
But they're shot very like Italian style, like Argento-y. Not a lot of gore, but we see like a silhouette of what's happening, and stuff like that.
That's true.
But I was hoping to see some blood splatters
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and a little bit more meat to it.
For sure.
Yeah.
But also it's PG, isn't it? So I'm like also
Yeah.
I'm like, fair enough.
If they turned it up
Yeah.
to M,
Yeah,
there
exactly.
would absolutely be blood splatters, lots
Yeah,
of goo.
exactly.
You know,
Well, this is would you say this is more or less violent than Gremlins? Because Gremlins came out 2 years after this. and then-
Gremlins is more violent than this. I would
Gremlins,
say.
Yeah.
I would agree. Gremlins is more violent only because of the variety
For sure.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Gremlins. Whereas there's one thing that happens
Yes,
in
there's
this
one
film.
one
Yeah.
bad thing.
One non-spoiler thing
Yeah.
that happens in this film, and it does it pretty well.
I agree.
I think that happened with the 80s though, because Gremlins and Temple of Doom created PG-13, the rating, which was a
Right.
middle in between between PG and
so
R.
is PG-13 M
That's
in Australia?
M in Australia,
Okay.
yeah.
So you're looking for a
Scarier.
more M experience
Yeah.
rather than a PG-13,
I
which
wanna,
I
I
think
want
is
to
a
ride
fair.
that MA. You
That's
know?
fair. That's
Yeah,
fair.
yeah.
Well, I think as well, because it is based off a stage show, there's only so much you can do on a stage show, and
Yeah.
they were trying to be as
mean-
close to that as possible.
That's also
I
true.
have seen the Sweeney Todd production, and oh boy, do they spray the audience with blood. So
Sure.
they actually had to like put tarps down like on the stage because
Yeah.
it would get so
awesome.
messy.
I think I would like both versions of it.
Yeah.
The like non-bloody version and the bloody version
sure.
would
Yeah.
be pretty good.
Well, there are, and this is more for the end of the episode, but they are going to working on a reboot of this
Yeah.
as well.
Slay.
Which I think Joe Dante, who did Gremlins, is going to direct it.
Ooh,
So
I can't wait for a racist caricature of a Chinese person to be in there.
he's over. Gremlins is self-aware. Okay,
Yeah.
so my first impressions then are actually, I went into this because I'd seen this before and I liked it, but I thought it was kind of problematic the first time I saw it. And then watching it this time around,
Problematic how?
like
Yeah.
I just felt it was very misogynistic the first time I saw it.
That's
Oh.
valid, but also that's the point.
But
Yeah.
like now watching it this time, I was like, oh.
you just were
This
not
is
on the
all
wavelength.
I think I just wasn't on the wavelength
Yeah.
the first time I
Yeah,
saw it
yeah.
because like it's all the point in this. Like,
Yeah.
and I think the only thing in this that doesn't age well is it is a little bit racist towards Chinese people, just for one song.
I did write that down. I was like, wait. I was like, oh no, the weird and exotic shop is a plant store.
Oh, yeah,
By an old
exactly.
Chinese man
That's such a
named
weird
Chang.
stereotype.
Well, I think it's on purpose though because that's the thing of 60s horrors.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
Yeah.
like, in the 60s, it was like, there was like this weird time period in the 60s and the 80s where it was like, we as Western culture were like so obsessed with the East.
Yes.
But we were like, wanted to be educated about the East, but we
Yeah.
did it in like a really bad way.
We wrote the book Shogun, which is very racist.
But like pretty much it was like, we want to understand like more cultural things.
Yeah,
and then it was
exactly.
just like ended up being racist because people didn't know how.
Yeah, no, for sure.
They were very obsessed with ninjas. I know that
Exactly
one.
in the
Well,
80s.
Yeah, they were indeed. That might come back soon.
Well, I don't know what
What?
you're talking about. Ninjas.
But yeah, like, well, that's the thing in Gremlins too, is like they get gremlins from like an old Asian man, but like in
I thought
Gremlins,
that was Gremlins 1, isn't it?
That's Gremlins 1, yeah.
You said 2.
Oh no,
Oh,
I said
Gremlins as well.
Gremlins as well was what I meant.
Okay,
there.
well, There's a second Gremlins movie. So excuse me for being confused.
Can't say Gremlins 2 as in 2 as in as well.
Real life doesn't have subtitles.
All right, but I think like in Gremlins though, they get the gremlin from the older Asian man, but then the Americans, the dumb white people, fuck up the instructions as to what to do with this peaceful creature.
They feed him after midnight.
Exactly, and I think that's kind of the point of Gremlins, whereas
well, that happened, spoilers, that happens in this too.
To a point, but also like the plant's just bad from the get-go.
Yeah. I am definitely giving this a goodie. This was very enjoyable. This is probably it was a long one, but it's probably one of the it's like an hour 40 compared to
long?
hour 20. Oh, it's 20 minutes longer.
Then what?
Than like some of the previous movies we've done in the last couple of weeks. That's all I was saying.
Why are we yelling? I agree with you. This is also a goodie from me.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
You enjoyed it?
I had a great time.
Even though it wasn't as gory enough for you, not as
that's fine. I think that's just me.
gooey.
I'm just, so violent, desensitized to everything.
Anyway, you rating
Yes.
the goodie?
I'm going to give this a goodie as well. I think it's good, and there's only a couple small little things that I don't like about the movie. But
yeah?
Don't
aside
you
from
like?
that,
Oh yeah, tell us. Come on.
just the racism, really. Yeah.
That's valid.
No, that was the bit I liked.
But like everything else is like
that's fair. I deserve that.
everything else is like this one song is kind of boring, but like on this watch through, like songs that I found kind of boring the first time, like Suddenly Seymour, I didn't really enjoy the first time I saw it. But like watching it this time, I'm like, wait, but this is just a parody of other
Everything else,
musicals.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like it's
Now
it's all
that you
very
have
well
the
done.
context of watching loads of other movies.
Yeah. Now
it's
I'm
actually
like
elevated this movie
exactly.
a bit more.
All right, now it's time for taglines.
You got a bunch of taglines?
I got so many taglines in there from IMDb. You got to give them a thumbs up or a thumbs down. That's how it works.
All right.
But first I
Can
gotta
give
sneeze.
a leaf up or a leaf down?
That's true. She doesn't have thumbs.
I sneezed, but I muted my microphone. So
Oh,
Did you?
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
we
think
could
it
hear it
picked
through
up
these
through the other
microphones.
ones, yeah.
it would have
We
picked
totally
up through
did.
the other. Through the
That's embarrassing, isn't it?
Well done. Well done.
Imagine
right.
having a bodily function.
yeah, it's so rank. Who would do that?
Disgusting.
Ew.
Literally farted like fuck.
The first tagline is "Don't feed the plants."
That's good advice.
Like we're on a game show.
yeah, I know. The problem is because you only have like 4
It's
buttons.
only 4,
there,
and one
like,
of them's too long, so I just don't play
so
it.
So you've just played the same one over and over again. I liked it.
Can you re-say it? Sorry.
Okay. Don't feed the plants.
Well, it's not plants, it's plant. They cut him and take the cutting from him. So there's only one plant until the very, very end.
True.
Yeah, but like, don't feed the plants is general advice in case.
Is that from the government? Does the government say that?
This is like
Maybe.
a government PSA being like, "Oh shit, everyone's bought this
Don't feed the
canopy
Everyone's buying
light,
plants.
the carnivore plant.
Yeah.
Stop feeding them. They're going to take over the world." They say, "Don't feed."
And then all the
plants."
Americans feed them and then they take
Yeah.
over Cleveland.
All right, tagline number 2. It's the most outrageous musical comedy in years.
Yeah, that's
Which is
pretty
technically
accurate.
true.
Point, yeah.
I would say that's accurate.
1986, there weren't that many musicals in the 80s.
Yeah.
Definitely none that outrageous. The most recent outrageous one would probably have been Rocky Horror, which was late 70s. So
Yeah, I'll give
Well-
a thumbs up.
I think it was anyway.
Yeah, I like this one. It's
You give that
factually accurate.
a leaf up?
I'll give it a leaf up.
Moving on.
Stop with that.
Meet me at the funniest shop in town.
Whoa!
No, I don't like that
I
one.
don't, that's
That's nah.
Is the plant going to do stand up? Like, what does that mean?
It's not funny. It's just a flower shop.
Yeah. Is it part of the? No, this is into spoilers.
Mm.
We're in spoilers.
What in spoilers? Does the plant have like hypnotic powers or
I think
something
it's just,
that it's getting people?
I think it's just
charismatic.
manipulative.
or is
Yeah.
it like releasing spores, or is it
I
just
think-
literally?
well,
No, I
in one
think
of
it's
the-
just manipulative.
One of the songs it did say it had spores,
Okay.
Yeah.
but I think it is just manipulative, and it's like,
Well,
oh, I'm so little.
I think
Yeah.
it has to have
Please feed me.
something that it's doing, I think, that causes like the chain of events, right? Because like at one point the guy just comes in and it's like, wow, I saw that exotic plant of the thing.
That
I'm gonna
is
give
so
just you-"
funny. When that scene happened and that character came in, like the first customer, I think he's actually credited as being called the character, the first customer.
Oh, nice.
I
I
get
was
it.
like, is that Joel McHale?
Yeah.
Because like his delivery, the energy, and like his height and frame, and I was like, holy fuck, is that not Joel McHale?
Yeah.
No, that was
really
Christopher Guest, who wrote, directed Spinal Tap and shit, I think.
Oh, right, that's so...
there you go.
Okay, there you go.
I don't know if he directed... No. He didn't direct Spinal Tap, but like he wrote it and everything.
That's all the way to 11 for me.
Married to Jamie Lee Curtis. Excellent.
Really?
Yeah, he is.
That is very interesting.
For sure. Next tagline. A singing plant, a daring hero, a sweet girl, a demented dentist.
That's funny. I like that.
I like that one a lot.
I like
That
that
one's
one.
really good. Thumbs up.
Thumbs
Yeah.
up.
That would get me in the cinema.
I agree.
That would fill seats.
Two leaves up.
Ooh,
Double.
2 leaves up.
Double
Damn.
leaves up.
And then this final tagline is for the home video release.
Ooh.
Are you ready?
No.
Put a rare house... fuck, Put a rare house plant on your television. It talks, it sings, it eats people.
Ooh.
I don't like it. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know why they added the eats people bit, but I guess that would...
Did you get the plant with the home release? Like,
Maybe you got a little
little
plant.
plant.
That'd be
That
pog.
that would be
cool.
cute.
They should
a
have
little
given away like
cactus.
Venus flytraps or something.
Yeah.
I love Venus
That would have been
flytraps. They're so
great.
cool.
Same.
I used to have
That would be a
bunch
good
of them.
promo thing
Me
for
too.
like a
Yeah.
plant horror movie.
Yeah, that's
is
a great
that you
idea.
like give away Venus flytraps
Yeah.
and stuff?
You know what would be a funny horror movie?
Mm.
You know the singing fish
Yes.
that people have?
Yes.
That is a horror thing.
Ooh,
That
it's
comes to
possessed
life
or
and
something.
tries to kill
Yeah.
people.
Oh my god, a possessed singing fish.
Possessed
that would
That's
singing
so
bat.
funny.
terrifying.
I think that'd be funny.
Does it eat people? Does it grow bigger?
I think it just, I would
I don't
say
know.
it has like psychological powers where it's like
Yeah.
kind of like The
Oh,
Shining.
shit.
Like
Yeah.
it like influences you if you're like, I guess,
have to-
maladjusted mentally. It like
Yeah.
it like so you're not sure if it's like the character is going a little kooky or it's the fish that's possessed.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Because the fish is saying some weird stuff. But
It says some weird
Venus-
things. It sings a bit, and then the characters start singing a bit.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. And maybe he was the fish the whole time.
Oh shit!
Venus flytraps are very hard to take care of, and people often kill them because
Yes.
they don't know how to take care of them.
Yeah,
so.
they
You've gotta feed them
they
blood.
keep putting their fingers
Yeah.
in and then closing the traps, but then
'cause-
they use their stomach, or not stomach. They don't have stomach. They use their acids,
Yeah.
their enzymes
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah,
themselves,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's bad for them.
No,
For
it
sure.
is, and it's, I think also like the oils that we have are
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
good for those plants as well, so
true.
they don't really like it. And people feed them the wrong bugs.
Oh.
They feed them like slaters and stuff, and apparently they don't like that.
Oh, really? Oh, there you
For
go.
the American audience, those are pill bugs, slaters, roly-polies.
roly polies.
roly-polies,
That's what
yeah.
I call them.
Oh, I call them
Roly-polies.
slaters. That's my Western Australian dialect
Yeah,
coming out.
I just like the name roly poly.
That's fair.
That's
It's very
pretty
fair.
cute.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We got to end this on a joke though. Slaters, more like Slaters.
Vor.
Here's an ad.
Hello, listeners. This is Bob from Bob's Short Story Hour, a podcast that features an eclectic array of short story recitations from both classic and contemporary authors, as well as occasional interviews and discussions about both. You can learn more by visiting us at bobshortstoryhour.com or find us anywhere that you listen to podcasts. Thanks for listening, everyone. Have a good night.
Oh my god, and we're back. We're back, and we're in the spoiler segment.
It's spoiler time.
Spoiler time. We're gonna go through the plot of the movie.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
guess. This movie's set in the 60s, which I always forget that it's set in the 60s. And we see kind of like a Greek chorus.
The Muses.
The Muses.
Yeah.
The
That was
Witches, if it was a Shakespeare
well, there
play.
are three of them.
There are
That's
three of
so
them.
And
true.
It is
I
very
didn't
much
even think about
making
that.
fun of West Side Story, which is a musical of Romeo and Juliet.
That's
pretty
true.
Yeah.
much, so
Yeah.
I thought
That's
it
great.
was very funny. I
Because
thought
they're also in the film itself
Yes.
for like
Yeah.
a couple of scenes as well.
they're like teenagers that are just like hanging out outside of the
Yeah.
Yeah, hanging
the,
out, like, watching
on
everything.
the street.
But also they're separately these singing entities.
yeah, they're the muses as well.
Yeah.
And also, like, I think it was really funny because I think Dreamgirls had come out a couple of years before this, which,
Yes.
if you don't know, that was remade with Beyonce contemporarily.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, it's about like showgirls singing, doing stuff.
So they're walking around and they're like introducing everything, the chorus, and we see a shop.
A little shop.
A little shop run by Mr. Mushnick, who is played by Vincent Gardenia.
What have I seen him in?
He's best known for a movie called Bang the Drum Slowly. No idea what that was.
Hey, yo.
He got an... Same. He
Does that include Vol?
He got nominated for an Oscar for his role in Moonstruck, which with Nick Cage.
Oh, that's where I probably know him from.
Which we are doing on the K-drama.
Ooh.
Can I?
What?
Can I? I know it's a Patreon episode, but can I?
What are you at?
I love Moonstruck. Can I?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Sorry.
Business deals on the podcast.
Yes, I will come out of my room with my new contract.
Hell yeah.
The rooms here at
Exactly.
your beautiful
You'll
beautiful
slowly
studio.
drag your pot over to your room.
Yeah. My roots will bust out of my pot. Why did I say that? So
Yo.
bust out.
We're gonna vor some banging of those drums and then bust out of here.
He's a Death Wish. He's in the Death Wish movies.
What is that?
It's like a 70s exploitation action thing. He runs the shop, and who works in the shop? Why, it's Seymour Krelborn,
I
which
wish
is
we
Rick
had
Moranis.
seen more
Is
of
it
him.
Krillburn or Krellburn?
It says Krelborn.
Yeah, 'cause I was like-
Krelborn.
Krelbin like Krelbin.
Krelborn.
Krelborn.
So it's spelled Krelborn, but it's
It's like how your GPS
mispronounced.
says Melbourne.
Yeah, right.
Krellborn.
Melbourne.
Krelborn.
Well, I was like
Melbourne.
krill because
Oh, true.
Oh, good old Krilly.
they're little planktons.
Yeah.
But my thing
That makes sense.
I try and put meaning where there's not really any. So
He works there with Audrey. Don't know what her last name is,
I
actually.
think it's just Audrey.
I
Isn't
don't think
it?
she. Yeah,
It's
she doesn't
Audrey
have one.
1 is
Audrey
Audrey
one.
one.
Audrey one.
Audrey the first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Audrey one, who
She's the florist. She does the arrangements.
exactly. And they've kind of got like a thing going. They
Yeah.
both like each other, but also she's dating Steve Martin, who's a
She
who's a-
suffers from low self-esteem.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they both do.
Relatable.
They both do to a degree.
That is
Yes.
true. Yeah.
That's kind of like the point of the movie, and like in them gaining their self-esteem, Rick Moranis, he does it in a way where he makes a deal with the devil, and then everything
Pretty
goes
much.
to shit.
That's pretty
Yeah.
much it.
Yeah.
Like, actually.
Kind of the whole
And that's the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, on to sequel.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get some great songs where like they introduce everything. There's the title song, of course, "Little Shop of
Yep.
Horrors," Little Shop.
Little Shop of Horrors. Again, that one comes up on TikTok all the time.
Yep.
And it's kind of like an earworm, but it's like annoying to the point
For sure.
now.
It's not my favorite of the songs, but it's a good song. It's a good starting
it's fun.
song.
I like the energy. It's
Yeah.
vibes.
Yeah. I think the song after that one, immediately after that.
That would be Skid Row, Downtown.
Oh, Skid Row. Yeah,
From
Skid
the
Row was
Macklemore
really
song.
good. I really liked Skid Row just because the random people on the street
That-
joining in.
Oh yeah,
That
all
is
of
so
the
funny.
All
Yeah.
of the like the homeless people
Yeah.
are like the backing vocals.
Yeah.
which is very funny.
I love that. And
Yes.
like we get more of, I guess, the establishing
Yes.
shots of like where it is.
World-building.
Yeah.
World building that you can
World-building.
definitely see that it's a set.
You know
Yes.
me, Sandra. I love me some
You do
world
love
Some
building.
lore.
You
You
eat
eat that
me that.
shit up.
You eat
You
it up.
wore that.
You vor the
I
well.
vor
There
the
we
lore.
go.
Vor me some of that lore, please.
But yeah, like the songs are really good. I love the Skid Row song. It's a great kind of like we're on the street introducing everything
Yes.
sort of song, which
Yeah,
is some of my
yeah,
favorite
yeah.
songs from musicals.
Well, again, it's very like West Side Story.
It
like
is very West
Sharks,
Side Story.
Jets.
Yes.
Introduction to where
it's
we're
great.
going.
And yeah, just to quickly bring up some things that the guys who wrote the musical, they were both involved in the movie as well.
Yeah, cool.
Obviously all the songs were carried over, but they were also involved in updating the songs. The songs are composed by Alan Menken with lyrics by Howard Ashman. Other movies they've made together is just a bunch of Disney stuff: Little Mermaid, Pocahontas, Aladdin.
Sick.
They went on
Never heard of it.
They went on to do all of that because of Little Shop of Horrors.
That's so
there you
cool.
go. That's awesome.
Which is really cool. They also composed
Deserved.
music for Rocky V, apparently. So that's Home
was a
Alone
banger.
2. They were involved in that.
Another banger.
I like Home Alone too. It's very. Oh, Donald Trump's in that.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's
just
my
a-
favorite actor.
Just a big ad for Trump Tower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Is
true.
hilarious.
It's very funny.
Oh, they both wrote songs for Sausage Party too. Which I like. That movie was funny.
Is that the Seth Rogen one?
yeah.
I think I didn't finish that movie.
I
That is
like
fair.
it. It's funny.
Yeah. It has a concept and it goes with it.
I have no opinion.
I could. There wasn't enough boring in it. For me,
Exactly.
you know?
Got it.
It's true.
No.
Anyway.
No.
You want to finish that
No.
sentence? No.
So, Rick Moranis has Audrey 2, which is a weird fly trap thing.
No, he doesn't have it. He made it. No, he didn't make it. It came from outer space.
It came from outer space. He bought it from a shop, and we get
There's a random
It was from
eclipse that happened.
Chang's weird and exotic shop.
Yep.
Is that the actual name of the shop?
It's called Chang's.
Right.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
it's like in, I don't want to say like the fortune cookie like font, but it's in that like
Oh,
fortune
yeah,
cookie
yeah. It
font.
It is, yeah.
Absolutely.
Like bright reds and
It's
black.
all stereotype.
Yeah.
It is.
But yeah, this alien creature came in on the eclipse.
Yeah, there was a
apparently.
lunar eclipse.
There was a lunar eclipse.
Which they kept mentioning.
Yeah, they
mentioned
mentioned
it
it.
on the radio, which Rick Moranis dropped and broke and then fixed and then swept off his bed, which I was
Yes.
laughing at
Yeah.
because he broke it and then fixed it and then turned it off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, were you listening to the radio? Like,
Yeah.
and then also Mr. Michnik is reading the newspaper and it says lunar eclipse.
It says it in
is
that
happening
Yeah,
too.
yeah. There's a lot of it hinted, and we can, extrapolate that the alien arrived at some point during
After
the eclipse.
the lunar
yeah.
eclipse.
Yeah, and then Rick Moranis just happened to buy it, and
Yeah.
Because he likes weird and exotic plants.
He
And
does.
he keeps them in the basement.
Yes.
The question I'm posing is, where did the racist stereotype get it from? Did he just find
No,
the plant and-
you see when there's this part of one of the songs where he's like he's walking to Chang's. Chang's often has weird and exotic plants that he buys.
Yeah.
He walked there was nothing that he wanted, so he's leaving. But then as he's leaving, the lunar eclipse happens, and then he hears a sound, and there's lightning, and it hits the table, and it like I don't know if it like turned one of the plants into the alien,
Could have
or
turned
it
them-
just like
yeah.
transported the alien plant there, but then he turned
think
around,
it
saw
transported,
it was there, and then he bought it from Chang because
Yeah.
I assume Chang thought that it was one of his
Yeah,
plants,
yeah,
or
yeah.
it's
if
just
it's a plant in your plant store, you probably
Yeah,
just
exactly.
assumed it was one of yours.
I wouldn't be surprised if they teleported it down. Like
Yeah,
their plants
that's-
go around and they
beam
do
down,
this
yeah.
everywhere.
why the lunar eclipse though?
It's a good place to hide it. It's a good place to
With
hide
their, like-
the teleportation.
Yeah, they waited for the lunar eclipse. Maybe they have a base on the moon.
Who wants?
Maybe they created the lunar eclipse.
That's true.
Maybe it was their ship that caused the eclipse.
Yeah.
The eclipse is something going in front of
Oh.
something, right?
Yeah, that's a
all
good
aliens are from the moon and they're hiding
Yeah.
inside
Absolutely.
inside the moon,
that with the Decepticons up
Yeah.
there.
and Hitler is there too.
He's there.
Yeah,
With Helen Keller.
Cyborg Hitler, I believe it is.
I
Anyway.
love the line though, yeah, like when like he puts the plant out the front of their shop and he's like, this is going, someone's going to instantly notice this strange and interesting plant
Yeah.
that I put in the window. And then we got Christopher Guest walking in and he's like, excuse me, I can't help but notice that strange and interesting plant you have in the window.
Yeah, I was giggling so hard at that point.
So
It's
good.
really good. Yeah.
And
It's
there's
very
never,
funny.
it's like the movie is directed like a musical because there's no moments for any like drop of energy.
Yeah.
It's just boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom. Like it's directed like that way, which is so
But
cool.
even like the scene transitions as well are so like stage transitions.
Yes.
Like they're so thought about. They're not like just a cut. It's like specifically there's a part where the dentist is like now spit and like the client spits out the water and then
Yeah.
we
And
transition to Rick Moranis like tipping out water outside.
Yeah.
outside
It was
the
a really
plant
good
shop.
transition.
Just like
It was
and that and then like when Audrey's singing somewhere green and then like it slide transitions to like green and then like
Yeah.
we see the house with
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
the green lawn
The
and
transitions
stuff,
were
like,
really good.
They
just
are
everything.
great.
Yeah.
I liked that we were teased about the Audrey's boyfriend, and it's like, but they weren't showing him for
Yeah.
ages, and I was like,
Yes.
are they going to show him, or is he just going to stay anonymous this whole thing? And then
Yeah.
they were like, oh, we're going to show you now, and I'm like, okay, who is it? And
You're
then
like
suddenly,
Steve Martin.
what?
Oh my god, it's Steve.
I
Well,
was-
yeah, because they don't because he's just credited
He would-
at the start of the movie
Yeah.
without his character name.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you're like,
exactly.
You're
Yes.
like, okay, he's in this.
yeah,
Yeah.
that
So I was
good.
just not expecting it at all.
It's very
He would-
funny.
He would not be in my top 100 picks for like who
Yeah.
was going to be this like bad boy
A
boyfriend.
sadistic dentist.
And it's-
and then he's revealed to be a dentist is
yeah,
very
because
funny.
like we're meant to think he's like some street ruffian.
Yeah.
Like it's
'Cause
like
he's wearing a leather jacket.
he's wearing a leather
riding
jacket.
a
He's
bike.
riding a motorcycle. He's
Yeah.
like,
But he
he's
earns a lot of
abusing
money,
her, and
and
then
it's like,
she's
oh,
like,
no.
oh, but he makes money. So we're like, oh, maybe he's selling drugs.
Yeah,
or like he's in a
exactly.
gang, or like something. He's arms dealer.
But
He's
no,
a
he's like-
dentist.
he's a dentist.
He sings about like, as a child, I loved inflicting pain
yeah, he's
on
like,
people.
I killed a puppy, and my mom was like,
I think that's like one of the
Yeah.
first lines from his first song as well.
yeah,
was, I
it's-
killed a puppy.
yeah.
Also,
Which is fucked up.
he looks like if Elvis played one of the greasers in
Yeah.
West Side Story.
he looks like yassified Elvis.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like.
It's so good. It's
great.
It's such a fun character, which is an interesting point to bring up because it is a fun character, but he is abusing Audrey.
He's
Yeah.
abusing everyone.
He is abusing
yeah.
everyone, but like he is physically, and we don't really see him
And,
like hitting her that
I
much.
mean,
But there is one part where he
yeah.
does on
Yeah.
screen.
with the silhouette. Yeah,
Yeah.
he hits her, but the implication also is that he's sexually abusing her. Too.
There is
like,
that as well.
Yeah.
with all the handcuff jokes and stuff like that.
Which is not funny.
But also when she calls him doctor, she's like doctor, doctor, because he's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what do you call me? And she's like doctor, but she
Yeah.
does it with like a little lisp.
I'm like, should we find this funny? But then also, like, a lot of comedies, particularly stage comedies in the 80s, were like The Toxic Avenger, the musical, which
Yeah.
was like so much like dark humor and shit
Yeah.
like this
Well, like,
in that.
This is
it's-
funny. The whole
it-
point is that he gets his comeuppance.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Like
not-
you're meant to hate him.
It's not meant to
Yeah.
be funny that he's abusing her. It's like the situation.
You're meant to
Exactly.
be like, hey, this is a bad
Yes,
guy.
exactly.
You
Yeah.
won't feel bad when he gets brutally
and,
murdered.
and the fact that she doesn't have the confidence and self-esteem to leave him, even though that everyone that she loves and cares about in her life
yes.
is telling her, even the chorus, the girls on the street,
Yeah.
they're like, you need to leave him. He fucking
They
broke
do-
your
they ha-
arm.
They have two scenes in this movie. One is being chased off, and the other is they stop to be like, hey,
Exactly.
lady,
Yeah.
leave
Yeah.
this guy. He's
Yeah.
a piece of shit.
Yeah. And also, like, they're taking a cheap B-movie horror and they're making it a musical, and they're doing what you would usually do in a musical. He's got a villain song, and the
Yeah.
villain song
Yes.
just happens to be one of the best songs, and that's always the case in movies as well, like
That's
the
true.
Yeah.
Lion King.
That's true.
Scar's
Scar's song.
Be
Dude.
Prepared is a banger.
It's a banger.
Absolutely. I loved it when the hyenas goosed stepped
It's so
around. That was
it's
great.
so good.
I loved it in the live action remake where they were like, actually, we're going to cut the best song in
What?
the fucking film.
I
Yeah,
haven't
Be
seen
Prepared's
the-
not in
They-
it.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
cut
well,
it.
no, they have it in, but it's
Well,
like
is
a
it-
half-assed.
Was it because it was too scary for kids?
No,
or
it
what?
was to do with the goose stepping.
It was to
and
do with the
whole,
song
They
like,
itself.
couldn't like choreograph the CGI
No.
or
They
what?
mean the point was that they were like, "Oh, this song's a bit problematic, so we're not going to put it in the film."
You could
and
just
then everybody
not have
went,
them doing that dance.
"Yeah, exactly."
yeah.
Everyone went, "Why the fuck wouldn't you just put it in the film anyway?"
Well,
they
Just
did
change
that.
it.
I don't
And they
think
did
it-
put it in the end.
They-
but it's like a half-assed.
It's like
Be
one of the
Prepared.
verses and a chorus because
The live action is really fucking bad.
They're doing a Mufasa
Prequel.
prequel, right?
There's literally no point seeing it if you've seen the first one because it's just a remake of the first one but worse.
Well, I like the first one, so I'll just
Yeah,
watch the
just
first one.
watch
no,
Lion King.
there's literally no point.
Yeah.
After watching it, I was like, this is a 3.5 out of 5, right?
Yeah, whether
the
it's
original is a
animated
4.5
yeah,
out of 5.
100%.
yeah, it's 5
Why
out of
would
5.
I ever watch the live action?
There's no well, yeah, like it's
And
like
I never
It's just
watched
weird
live
and
action after
it's
that until that
uncanny
stupid
and weird
Pinocchio
as well.
movie.
for sure. Well, like the best Disney remakes, and there are some good ones.
Yeah.
Cinderella is a banger.
I'll
Jungle
take your
Book
word
is a
for it.
banger because the original Jungle Book is bad.
Is your opinion?
what?
Yeah,
There's no
that's what. Have you never
Boring.
heard
I
this
don't like it.
Sandra
It's a
opinion?
book first, you
Yeah.
fucking idiot.
The book is great. The
He's talking about the Disney movie.
I understand.
the animated Disney one. There's no. It's meh.
Okay, what about Tarzan?
Tarzan's great.
It's the same but flipped.
But they did the same thing with Be Prepared to Lady and the Tramp because there's the Siamese
Yeah.
Cat song.
Yes.
What they did for Lady and the Tramp, which I really, really liked, was they just did the song without the singing and
Yes.
put it in the background of the scene where the Siamese Cats are wrecking everything.
Yeah.
And I might just do that to Be Prepared.
Yeah.
Just have it be
But,
like an
or
orchestral
just-
villain song.
Or they could have just
Not
not
had
made
them
the fucking
dancing.
movie in the first place.
That
because
wasn't
there's
never
no
gonna happen.
fucking point.
But money though.
Yeah, but money though, just put fucking Be Prepared in and just don't have the hyenas goose step. Wow.
I don't think that kids have the cognitive ability to understand what
Yeah,
different
no,
dances
exactly. Yeah.
are.
It
and-
wouldn't have mattered.
No, exactly.
No.
And I was like, it's just like, I would go back and watch the old Disney
no
one.
reason.
It's just better.
Yeah, I
No
agree.
reason to watch it.
Anyway,
I like
this
Lion King
movie,
too
am I right?
because Kovu's in it.
I
Lion
like
King too.
Smash.
Lion King one and a
One and a half.
That movie doesn't exist, and we didn't ever review that movie on the podcast, Zach.
It's not just like Timon and Pumbaa, like what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's like the
We-
Rogue One
we-
of
It is.
Yes,
It is
Lion
exactly
King.
that.
And
yeah.
we reviewed
We didn't.
we reviewed Lion King 2 and definitely
not
not
1.5.
1.5
Okay.
and said it was 2.
Should you put it in the show notes? Put it in the show notes.
The plant needs blood. And
Wait.
What?
Yeah.
The plant needs blood.
What?
What?
Me?
And we get the
No,
song.
no, the
No.
plant in the movie.
Yeah.
Plant in the movie.
Yeah.
And the
I'm a
plant.
government plant.
Yeah,
but
that's
I'm also
right.
a plant.
No, you feed off taxes, not blood.
Feed off taxpayer income.
Yeah.
Pay income, yeah.
You feed off the blood of every household.
Every hardworking proletariat.
Yeah.
That's what I feed off of.
So we get the song. We get the song "Grow for Me."
Yeah, and I was like, I love this because like it sets up how weirdly semi-erotic everything
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, this movie. A
Oh,
lot of the
no.
songs are big innuendos
Because,
and there's
like-
multiple in the movie as well.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm like, lol. But also, like, so the plant's like making this sucky noise.
Yeah, no.
Rick Moranis cuts his finger on a
And he's like-
rose or on a thorn, and he's
Yeah.
and then the plant's like it's like a little baby like making sucky pacifier
It is.
noises,
Yeah,
and then the whole song's about him being like, should I do it? Should I not?
yeah.
And he's like,
The
why
lyrics
won't
are-
you grow? Why won't you grow? Because I like keep changing your environment and you're not growing.
The lyrics are like, I've given you sunshine, I've given you rain. It's like you're not happy unless I open a vein because it wants the blood.
Yeah.
It wants the blood. I love that song. It's such a good song.
Yeah.
But also the silhouette. He like feeds the plant the drop of blood.
Yeah.
And then it perks up, but we see it from a silhouette, which is shot like a lot of adult films
Yes.
where like I know you guys did like Killer Condom,
We did do that.
Never heard of that one.
but like that where
One of
it's
my
like
all-time favorite movies.
the silhouette of someone. It looks like an erection. It
Yeah, it
does.
does.
And the joke is erections need blood.
Yep.
I think as well as part of the joke.
funny.
That's a very intellectual joke. Not everyone would get that one.
Yeah.
I liked some technical aspects of this song. I liked how the song all takes place in the basement, and then at the end of the song, Rick Moranis he walks upstairs and he like shuts the door. But we stay downstairs with the plant, so he keeps singing the song as he's walking up the stairs, getting quieter and quieter until he like shuts the door like halfway through like his last song, like his last word or something. And that happens all throughout the movie where we hear the soundtrack, but the singing only happens where the characters are.
Yeah.
If they're
Yeah.
far away or like if they're on the phone, the singing is through the phone.
It's awesome.
It's
I
so
love
it's
it.
so
Yeah.
consistently. It's so good. It's so good. It reminds me of there's a musical called Annette with Adam Driver. It's kind of like Les Mis. There's no talking in
Right,
it,
it's all
so it's all
singing.
musical.
Yep.
And there's so many moments, where it's like she's giving birth, but every time she pushes, she's like yelling a note and like stuff
my
like
God.
that. I love movies that do that like
Yeah.
incorporate the song into like where characters are moving and stuff. I
Well,
think
because
really
it's
good.
meant to be, a stage production.
Exactly.
So it's like if the audience can't see the actor,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you wouldn't be able to hear them because we're meant to be immersed in the world. We're meant to be in the world. We're an active participant in this world. So I really liked it too. But I wanted to say when Rick Moranis walks up the stairs and he like closes the door and he like leaves, I assume
Yeah.
the shop. We get to see
Leaves.
we see the plant. It perks up.
Yeah.
But not only that is it starts like growing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I genuinely have no idea how the fuck they filmed this because I couldn't see any edits in how it's growing. Like its leaves start unfurling.
Yes.
And it like butts out of the tin that it's in.
Oh, yeah.
And like
that was good.
the actual plant gets bigger.
Yeah,
I
That's a
couldn't
good
see
practical effects.
Yeah, I couldn't see any cuts.
sure.
I couldn't see any of like
That's-
the hidden stuff.
Because there weren't any. It was a real plant.
They-
that really
yeah.
grew.
They just time lapse shot the
Yeah.
plant.
Exactly. Well, there's like at least one shot like that in every Muppet movie where you're like, how the
Yeah.
How did they do?
I just
I know
assumed
they're
that. I was
they're
like,
puppets.
I was
How
like,
did
it's
they-
Muppet magic, and
It's
I'm
Muppet
just gonna
magic.
leave it at
They
that.
do some really clever practical effects.
Yeah, and also the guy who made the props, this is the same guy who did everything for like Labyrinth as well. So
Yeah.
like super clever
Yeah.
puppet work. I think Dark Crystal as well. Well, you know, it's the three that
keep
they work on
talking
everything.
about
Yeah,
Dark
for sure.
Crystal and Labyrinth like every other episode.
We do.
And all I want to do
It's
is
the
watch
80s.
those.
You gotta.
It's the
Yeah,
80s.
they're so good.
I think we missed the boat on doing both of them, unfortunately. But
Well, there might be chances in the future,
we could
Sandra.
do a bonus battle between Labyrinth. They're very
Dark
different,
Crystal.
though.
I disagree. Dark fantasy, you could do anything.
Back to the plot, though. Rick
there's a
Moranis takes Audrey to. Oh yeah, he calls it Audrey 2. By the way, we haven't talked about that.
Yeah, he names the plant Audrey too, which is a subtle reference to the fact that
He's
he
in
likes
love with Audrey.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
If
he
you didn't
likes
get
Audrey.
that from.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also is he? Because she's in love with him because she sings a song about him.
Yeah, but
Yep.
she thinks that she doesn't deserve someone that's nice.
Yes.
Yeah, because of the low self-esteem.
Yeah.
But we don't even know if he's actually.
I mean, he's
I think
into her for
he
sure.
definitely does. I think that because like the whole first scene where he's like cleaning up,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
he's like waiting for her at the shop.
Yeah.
And he's like
Yeah.
really excited that she's there, and he's like,
I think he's in love.
yeah, he's like
Yeah, for
telling
sure.
her how
At least a
beautiful he
crush,
thinks
minimum,
that she
Yeah.
is, and like,
Yeah.
he's like, she'll never be with a guy like
that.
me.
Yeah, that's true, that's
and then you have the whole ending dramatic scene.
Yes.
But we'll get to that.
But yeah, he takes Audrey 2 to John Candy. That's the second cameo of the movie. John Candy's in this from Planes, Trains, and he's a radio presenter. It's so fun. He's doing two hosts.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
when this like I didn't realize this was a real thing in real life that radio hosts sometimes have a segment where they're like, and I've got like this is my co-host, and it's just them doing a voice.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, that's so funny.
It's actually just
From
one
one-
person
oh,
in this
yeah.
room
Just
right
doing all of
now
us.
doing
Yeah.
all the voices.
There's so much editing to get it to overlap.
Yeah.
So much editing.
The question is, who is the real person?
Exactly. We do get that weird scene where one of the scenes where I'm like, your 80s is showing where Audrey tries to bite someone's ass.
So they're all sitting in like
yeah.
the waiting room of the radio station, and basically it's like a segment where it's like, oh, you show me what your weird and wacky
Yeah.
thing is, right? And
It's a great radio segment, by the way.
I was going to point
Yeah,
that out.
exactly.
It's a visual medium like
That's the
segment,
joke,
but on
though.
a radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
very funny. And we see like all the other weird, like not weird people, but people that are bringing their weird stuff
weird
and stuff like
stuff.
that. But Rick Moranis is holding Audrey 2.
Yes.
And Audrey 2 is a bit bigger.
Yeah.
So we started out like, I guess
Little plant.
and now it's like it's the size
It's
of
like it's
a
gone
large
from like
cat,
a baby puppy to like
Yeah.
a full size
full-
medium dog.
Yep.
I wouldn't say medium dog. I'd still say a small dog, but
At this point,
it's from
It's
a
like
puppy,
a corgi size.
puppy to a corgi. Yeah, but I'd call a corgi a small dog. I would argue.
I would say a medium-ish.
They're-
It depends how big
If a
they are.
corgi's a
Yeah.
small dog, then is a chihuahua a mini dog?
Oh,
Yeah, what
Chihuahua's a tiny dog.
What's a
Okay,
gi-
okay.
Anyway,
Going
we're not
into
getting to the-
D&D size categories.
All right.
so like
That's just me trying to edit Zach in real time sound cue. That's what this one
My
is.
brain goes.
you're like boing the dopamine.
Yeah.
So someone that works there comes over and she's leaning across the like production desk and like
Yeah.
helping the producer. And then she's bent over, which
Yes.
I'm like, lol.
Yep.
Audrey's gonna try and bite her butt, isn't
Yep.
he? And
Yep.
then he does, and Rick Moranis has to struggle with like trying to make sure
I had
Yeah.
some
that
thoughts,
he
and I
doesn't
want to
bite
inflict
her.
them on you too.
Oh, no.
You're
Okay.
gonna like
All right.
them.
Yeah.
Is it about war?
No.
I don't want to hear it then.
That's fair. That's understandable. Well, she's wearing a red dress, right?
Right.
Is
Oh,
that
like
why
blood.
he wants to bite her
Oh.
ass? The other cursed thought I had is she's on her period.
Oh, that's
Was-
a good point.
was
Okay,
the
well-
cursed
The period
thought I
isn't
had.
blood, though. That's
Yeah, exactly.
tissue.
Period is
Oh, look,
actually just
again.
membrane and tissue.
Yeah, I'm just saying
No
because
blood.
because
I get
before
that.
we see him,
guys, I'm gonna have to stop you there. All of our American men are leaving the show. We need to not talk
Okay.
about
Sorry,
periods.
sorry.
Not
Well,
talk
we'll,
about
we'll
periods.
pass
Sorry,
from that
sorry.
bit, but I'll just mention before because he puts his finger up with the blood dripping
Yeah.
from it, and the
Yeah.
plant tries to eat it,
and
but
he
then
doesn't-
he puts his other finger,
Right.
and the plant doesn't try
I
and
think
eat it.
actually you're onto something
I
here.
think
though.
So-
maybe it is just he likes blood. Like
Yeah.
he likes
Yeah,
red.
It must be
He's like,
red, right?
is he
Yeah.
colorblind except for red?
It's possible,
Oh,
yeah.
But
maybe.
also, I was
They
like,
have like some predatory sense for the color red to like attack weak things. something like that.
Maybe. I wrote in my notes, I said, what is this, a Resident Evil game? Because they're always weird tentacle trying to
That's right.
sexually harass the characters,
That's
especially
right.
Jill and Ada. So
It's true.
right.
There was a lot of tentacles going around
Yeah.
in this movie.
That's true. Not down
Right.
anyone's throat, though, so it's got a point above Resident Evil.
just trying to raise up skirts and
Yeah.
Oh
bite
yeah, it
people's
does
butts.
do that. Yeah,
It does.
Yeah.
I
This
think-
plant is problematic.
I think
I'm
I'm
canceling this
canceling
plant.
Audrey too.
Yeah, Audrey too.
I feel like that's something where it's like in a horror movie, like in like a straight horror movie, that, especially in the 80s,
Like
you're like...
Evil Dead and
yeah,
stuff.
you're like, it's the 80s, they all did that, but it's weird in this movie because it's to a song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like
So-
that's why it's like weird.
More, I guess, uncanny because they had to think more about it.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe.
I think the point is that the plant is bad.
Yeah,
and
Yes.
it's like not just bad in a tradition. It's just bad.
It's bad. He wants to eat people. He wants to
eat
take
people.
over
And he
the
doesn't-
planet.
and he doesn't
wants
mind
to
sexually
He wants to
harassing
sexually
people.
harass
right.
people.
yeah,
And I think, like,
it's just
that's-
a bad plant.
That's a part of this movie where you kind of got that cognitive dissonance, where it's an 80s horror movie, so it's cheesy and tasteless.
Yeah.
But it's also a musical, so it's got to be tasteful, right?
But yeah, and then he goes on the radio show.
Oh, that
And
was
he tells,
so funny.
He tells
That was
the
really good.
exposition story, but because we'd already seen it, it just cuts to the next
Yeah,
scene.
yeah.
Like, it plays the first couple notes of the song, and then, it just cuts.
Oh yeah, I
so
love that,
funny.
that it started the song again.
Yeah.
which is very good.
We got a pretty fun quote. I think this might be the first proper quote that I wrote down, which is from Audrey, where the owner of the shop is like, "You were late. Did you get tied up?" And she's like, "No, just handcuffed a little," which is it's very funny. But she's also, she's been abused, so it's not actually that funny.
Yeah, thanks, Sandra.
It's funny because it's sad.
That's right. We do get her Better Homes and Gardens song, where like she's got like a stuffed dog toy, right?
Yeah, it's like she comes into her apartment, and I'd like to say that in her song, and we get to see what she wants. She's romanticizing capitalism.
Yes.
She wants to be trad
Oh,
wife.
she's got the American dream.
She wants to be trad wifed up.
Yeah.
Picket fence,
Same.
2.5 kids.
For real.
Like,
Sam.
For real.
But she
no,
won't-
wait, no,
Relatable.
hang on. Hang on.
you want to be a trad wife?
Yeah, but not with the kids.
Yes, but with the kids.
Yeah. Ew.
Don't you think I would make an amazing
You would.
trad wife?
I could see
Yeah.
you like baking bread, like
I
That'd
can
be
see
so
Zach.
good.
do like
Yeah.
Nara Smith TikTok.
Yeah, I would have my little feather duster like going
Little
around.
maid outfit.
Got the yeah, got the plastic on the couches. I
we've
wouldn't
got
have
any-
the plastic on the couches. That's the only thing that I would
That's
have
fair.
different.
Yeah,
Plastic
I-
on the
Like,
couches
what's
is
the
rank.
fucking point of getting a
it's-
couch if you
it's
put
to
plastic
keep it
on
clean
it? I
so
know
that
why.
Well, because also people used to drink more and
yeah,
Spill their wine all over
no
them.
scotch.
no, spill that.
Oh,
yeah, scotch and beer.
Scotch,
well,
beer,
for sure.
whiskey.
Come on.
That's why it's called Scotch Guard. That's what you
Yeah.
spray on your couch to keep it waterproof.
Right.
That's so bad. That's so bad.
She walks into her apartment, which is a studio apartment. It's
Yeah.
tiny,
Yeah.
but she has one kind of large-ish bed, like I would say a king single size bed.
Sure.
But what was funny in the 60s, not funny, but like if you were rich, you could have 2 beds.
Yes.
And so, like,
they
a lot
have
of
separate beds.
a lot of married couples had 2 beds
had
because
2
they would
beds.
sleep in separate beds
To show
is
how
very
rich
funny.
to
they
show
are.
how rich they were.
Yeah. It
was
and
very
so
funny when I saw that.
It only became popular to have 1 bed was because people couldn't afford to have 2 beds.
People-
when they
Oh,
lived
really?
together,
They just got poor, yeah.
so like sleeping with your partner is not necessarily like a normal thing until
interesting.
like
The
the
60s.
60s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like still very weird for like married couples to sleep in the same bed. Like I Love Lucy, they're filmed
Yeah.
in separate beds.
For sure.
But yeah, I thought that was funny.
I just thought they were having trouble.
No,
in
it's
paradise.
because because she's like, well, we'll be rich, we'll be well enough to have 2 beds.
yeah,
2
yeah,
beds.
that's
To have
very
2
funny.
bedrooms
Yeah,
or
which is
very
anything
good.
like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, she walks into her apartment, which is a studio apartment, and she sits on her bed and she's got a stuffed dog toy. And then she goes to her vanity and she's looking at the Better Homes and Garden magazine. She like imagines her life as a trad wife.
Yeah.
But it cuts to Rick Moranis has a beer gut and he's mowing the lawn, which I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
was kind of funny.
That was
Yeah.
Rick Moranis with the beer gut was very funny.
Yeah. That was
I
great.
did laugh at that.
But she's holding like the stuffed dog, which is just like, I don't know, a black and white dog with like long fluffy ears. And
Yeah.
then we see like a dog running and it's the same kind of dog that she was holding the dog
Yeah,
toy
yeah,
of. And
yeah.
I was like,
she's imagining it.
yeah, I was like, that's so cute. And just
very
the
good
attention to
details.
detail. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It is a fantastic song. Oh yeah, and there's like an animated bird at one point as well.
It like
flying around
comes into
kitchen.
the window.
Yeah.
And
was
she's
good.
like in very like 60s
Yeah.
dresses. I thought it was funny as well because it's like she's like daydreaming about having Tupperware parties.
Yeah.
That was great.
And having a toaster. And I'm like, wait, and I'm like thinking, I'm like, does she not? And an ironing board. She wants an she wants an iron and a washing machine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, all these things that I guess modernly we take for granted. But like,
Yeah.
what did people do before they had toasters? How did they make toast? Was it on the stove, in the oven?
Yeah,
Probably in the oven, right?
There was lots of different ways of making toast.
I've made
but
toast
the-
camping before, but I've never
Yeah.
like at home without a toaster.
That's true. I mean, I
Yeah.
sometimes put them in the grill, but that's only if I've got like cheese on it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's not really toast.
There was a time before toasters
What?
existed.
That's
and
wild,
people
right?
had many. There's some really cool old toaster
Toasters?
inventions.
I've
yeah.
seen the tongs that you can like put
Oh,
on
yeah,
a different
yeah.
flame.
Yeah. That was one of the main ways. I saw a really cool one, which is you had a sort of grill in the middle, and you put your two toast slice on the
Yeah.
side, and there's a little button which flipped the toast around.
That's pretty
so
funny.
You could do both sides of them.
That's cool.
But yeah, you just fry it up on the pan or whatever.
right.
You know, is the
Well, I hope she
old-fashioned way.
got her toaster, but
I
she
got some
didn't.
toaster too. Did you know that the dial on the toaster is not the level of toasted you want? It's actually the length that it's in the toaster for.
Yeah, I did know that.
Which leads to exactly the same thing.
It's exactly the same thing, but
Yeah.
people are. It's not the level of crispiness; it's how long it's in there
well,
for.
see,
which is
I've had toasters
why-
before where they're like 4 slice toasters. And so
Yeah.
you get 2 dials, so like one for each set of 2.
yeah.
And with me and my siblings have actually timed them, and they're different timings.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
So-
Maybe it's not for all toasters then.
Maybe we just got a lemon.
Ah.
Maybe
Here's the
ours
thing,
is just
I just
broken.
don't care this much about toast, to be
that's
honest.
true.
Well,
I watched-
you should.
I watched a Dr. Carl special a while ago when I was a kid, and he had
A while ago.
Yes, when I was a child, and he had the finding that if you drop toast, it always falls
Butter side up.
the other side. Like, let's say you're holding it and the butter's on top. If you drop it, it's going to spin half. So what's on
Yeah.
top's always going to fall on the bottom. So
Yeah.
as a kid, I would just carry my toast around the wrong way around because I was worried I was going to drop it because I'm clumsy.
But did it like
That's so
drip
funny.
anything on the floor?
Yeah, probably.
Just use a plate.
Just like
Yeah.
Use a fucking plate.
at that point. I know.
Speaking of plates, I'm
We then get the Steve Martin song. We're introduced to his character.
Yes.
He's a dentist. Oh, no. We got a song with the chorus as well called Some Fun Now, which is really fun. It's kind of a small song.
Oh, that was just like a transition to
Yeah.
show
Yeah.
that Audrey's Tui is getting bigger,
It's getting
and
bigger and bigger.
Big.
Rick
Yeah.
Moranis, Seymour is having
Yeah.
a bit more success, and the shop
is this the one where
popping
it's
off.
a medium-sized category now?
No, I think this one's a bit larger.
It's getting large.
I'd say it's
because there's a stage where it goes like medium-sized, where it's sort of still in the pot.
Yeah.
I think we see
and
that
then there's
in
a,
this
like
sequence.
Yes.
a large.
I think
Yes.
it's like
This is to bridge the gap between
it's
that.
bigger than it was
We
at the
see
radio.
pretty much all the size categories
We
of
do.
D&D 5th edition, including Gargantuan.
Garbage.
So then,
We see yassified Elvis Steve Martin, and as soon as I saw him and started seeing his acting, I was like, it'd be funny
what?
if Austin Butler was
him in the remake?
yeah,
The guy
but
that plays Elvis.
Yeah, I'm
in-
like, he couldn't do it because he couldn't be self-aware
He's
though.
not funny
Yeah.
enough.
He'd just
Yeah.
like play it really straight and be like,
Yeah.
"How you doing, mama?" I
could be funny,
I haven't
though.
seen the Elvis movie, but that's what I imagine.
I've seen
he's
the
like.
Elvis movie, and that's exactly what he's like. I haven't seen
nice.
Priscilla yet, though, but the Elvis from that looks pretty good. He could do it. Because
Yeah.
the Elvis in Priscilla is the abusive Elvis.
Yeah, it's
So-
from Priscilla's perspective.
Yeah, so I could get that actor in. Anyway, I don't know. But I love the song Dentist. I love how it stops at
Yeah.
one point and he has a Jason Voorhees shrine to his mum moment.
Yeah,
was
yeah,
so
that was just
funny.
in his office. There's just these lit candles everywhere. I'm like, that's a fire hazard.
Yeah.
Well, also it's to like show that he has such a weird Oedipus complex.
Oh, yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It's such a fun character because he just loves... Because, like, people who love to cause pain, you wouldn't necessarily think dentist.
No.
That's not where you would go.
I would.
You would?
I would. Dentists and surgeons actually have the highest percentage of psychopaths and sociopaths.
Oh,
well, there we go.
But that can be a good thing too, because like if you're in a medical professional, you probably want someone that is a little bit less empathetic.
It's not going to think of you as a person.
Yeah,
So they don't
Slab
get
of
like
meat.
nervous or
Yeah,
anything.
exactly.
Yeah.
So like EMTs and like first responders, it's actually good for them to have a little bit of that, and especially that means that's beneficial for them too because they don't take on the trauma from work too.
Right, yep.
But definitely male white surgeons, male white dentists, watch out for them. Watch out for them.
For sure.
I just thought it was really funny because recently I got my braces removed.
You
Congratulations.
did. Congratulations.
But no one can tell because I speak with my mouth closed most of the time. So literally, I've gone from a bearded smile to a bearded smile.
Yeah,
That's
right.
fair.
That's pretty funny.
But does it feel good though?
Oh yeah, it was
Better
very
than vorhing? Vorhing?
No, now I can properly vor. I couldn't vor
Exactly.
before because of the
No-
braces.
No
you
apples.
know?
For real.
Not allowed apples.
Yeah. But it's very funny because I've been going for the orthodontist for the last 5 years.
For sure, yeah,
And
you have.
There are many stories of people with
Yes.
braces that would be like, yeah, I've met that dentist in real life, you know?
Yeah.
I haven't. They're all lovely people.
I went to
Definitely.
a dentist once and he had bad breath, and I was like, "Whoa,
That's
but
so
hang on."
funny. That's like so
Ooh,
ironic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know
he's
if
leading you to a path.
yeah, you're
I'm like, I don't
you're
trust you, actually.
No.
Yeah.
My favorite part was that Steve Martin, Oren Scavello DDS,
Yes, DDS.
doctor, he just keeps doing nangs.
He
He just keeps fucking
He loves those nangs.
fucking doing nitrous oxide.
Is nangs an Australian thing?
Nangs are Australians. For the Americans,
Yeah.
they're whippets, I believe.
Whippets, that's it. Yeah.
So he's just
If
fucking
you've ever
doing
been to
nangs.
a Woolies car park
Yep,
and seen those
exactly.
little canisters
You
on
go
the
for
ground?
a walk in the park, and
Yeah.
it's just like a bin full of the,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
cartridges.
Oh my god, I saw
It's very bad for you.
It's-
Do not do
Don't-
those.
Don't do it.
I saw Eric Andre. He did some shows in Melbourne recently, and I saw him, and he started the show off by
Did
doing
he?
a nang.
Oh my god.
And he was just high for the rest of the show.
Wow.
Do you think he actually did it?
I don't know.
He's such a troll. I would
he
be
probably
like,
would. I saw his dick and balls during that whole bit, so
that is wild? That is
you should tweet that. I saw Eric Andre's dick and balls.
That's a good tweet.
that was good. Audrey 2 starts to talk, and he's voiced by Levi Stubbs, who was a rock and roll singer at the time, and then
He's great.
and then became a voice
Four
actor.
Tops.
Yeah, in the band Four Tops.
Yes.
He's not super famous. He's mainly known for this movie,
Fair.
but he's done some other like small like voice actor roles here and there.
cool.
He's great as
This
the
was
voice
so
of Audrey.
good, yeah.
he's spot on.
It had that like gruff kind of manipulative,
Yeah.
but also a bit sensual. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? It
Yeah.
was very much like,
It was very cocky as well.
yeah.
yeah.
So I don't know if I'm reading too much into this as well, but it's like the
I
fact
think you were just into this plan.
yes, like,
so was I.
Like,
to be
sure,
fair.
for sure.
this is good.
Yeah.
But like Seymour feeds Audrey to
Yes.
some blood,
Yes.
but he doesn't want to, right?
Yeah.
But
you can see at one point
Yeah.
he has bandages over all
his
his
fingers.
fingers, which is
Exactly.
very funny.
Yeah.
and like Audrey too keeps kind of pushing him to do stuff, but like, is that not parallels to an abusive relationship?
Oh, yeah,
in
exactly.
terms
Yeah,
of
it is,
like,
yeah.
someone will push your consent or your
I
boundary, and then they'll keep going to the next one to like
Yeah.
keep breaking you down, like
Yeah, well,
pushing your
I-
The
boundaries.
next point is he's like, give me a person.
Well, he's like-
Yeah,
he's like-
he keeps trying to push.
He's like, feed me,
feed
Yeah.
me.
Which
That's such a good song.
I love this song.
It's
And
really good.
this song, and this was my vor point.
Here
we go.
We finally get to the good part. The
This
vor.
this song is so good, and it reminds me of
Oh no.
a 2009
2009.
That's a while ago.
09
Ooh.
Universal Studios in
Oh.
Hollywood
Yes.
did a musical which was an adaptation, a loose adaptation of
Right.
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Okay. A good movie.
Okay. And so in this adaptation, the creature is a rock star, and his name is Gil, and he lives underwater.
dude.
Oh my god.
And
yeah.
so after he kidnaps,
Fucking Gil,
after
dude.
he kidnaps the leading lady,
Yeah.
yeah, of course.
he sings a song about how hungry he is.
yeah.
But what he says is he says, "I'm hung." I'm hungry because he wants to fuck her and
Yes.
eat her at the same time.
Right.
But
Amazing.
then the ending of the musical, and this is spoilers. Now this only ran for I think a couple of months because
that's fair.
because
It sounds awful.
well they were gonna put it. I don't
Because they
even.
ran out of female actors to be in.
Well, yeah, because she gets bored at the end. Actually, like he turns mega sized.
Yeah.
Right.
And then she's like she's like swimming towards him or what, like in
Yeah.
the air, and he just eats her.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't know why, but the song just reminded me. It was like,
Yeah.
I'm hungry, like the beats, and it was like, feed me. It was just like
Yeah, I
the
get
same.
that.
It's
you
very
go.
funny. Anyway, that was my
Yeah.
my
Okay.
Yeah.
I made a joke
yeah.
about them eating the actresses, and then they had to get a new actress
Nah,
every
they get a new
time.
actor.
Yeah.
That
A
was
new one
that was my
every-
point.
That's
Yeah.
good.
That one, yeah.
I do like this song. I like the part in particular where
And then you were like, "Yeah, they had to get a new actress." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Well, because they couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah. They were dead.
Yeah. There's a part in this song where Rick Moranis, he sings like, I don't know, I got so many reservations about like killing someone. I just found that really funny. Like he
Yeah.
just breaks like, I don't know. I like train of thought songs
Yeah,
in
I do
musicals. And this was a really good one.
I liked the reply that Audrey 2 was like, we'll tell that to the Marines. As in, because the Marines are happy with killing people.
yeah.
So you want to kill a bad person, and that
Yeah.
doesn't make you a bad person for
That's
wanting to
right.
kill a bad person.
Because they decided they're going to go kill Steve Martin.
Yes.
Sounds like a bit of manipulation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny because we see a scene in the shop just before this song, just before Feed Me, where Mr. Michnik is like yelling at Seymour because Seymour's forgetting stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because like there's so much going on. There's a plant that's eating you
Yep.
and then telling you to murder people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Plus the girl you likes you back but is in an abusive relationship. You can't
Yeah.
help it. Like there's
Yeah.
a lot going on. But I thought it was funny because he keeps forgetting stuff because he doesn't have any blood in his brain.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All of his blood is in the plant.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely felt throughout the whole movie that the plant definitely didn't need to feed a lot of the time
yeah.
and was
No, I
just
did.
pushing him to
For sure.
feed
Just
him.
like break him down.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, like
and Seymour
there's
was a bit of a
definitely-
pushover, which was
Well,
perfect
that's the
for the
point.
plot.
Yeah.
Is like it's only at the end that he gets the confidence to like
For sure.
stand up for
Yeah,
himself.
that worked out well.
It depends which version you watch.
That's true. I watched the good version.
I think their relationship is definitely meant to mirror Audrey and Steve Martin as well. Like, it's just another.
Dr. Orville Scavello DDS.
It's just another toxic, abusive relationship.
It's good.
But in
I
this
like
one, then Rick Moranis is like, all right, I'm going to go kill Steve Martin. Cut to Steve Martin at work. And this scene is so
Oh my
good.
god. And
I already started laughing before you even mentioned
this scene is so good because I was like, what the fuck? Why is Bill Murray here?
Bill Murray randomly shot. Now, this character, so Bill Murray, he plays a masochist who loves pain.
Yeah.
He loves it.
Fuck
It's
yeah.
one
so
of,
good.
it's honestly one of the best Bill Murray performances. It's so funny.
He's like
so funny.
standing on his chair instead of sitting down.
He's like, can I go?
So
can I,
excited.
He's like, we get a shot of the dentist, like waiting room, and there's like screams of pain coming from like
Yep.
the dentist office.
Yeah.
And then he's like excitedly sitting in his chair. The nurse walks past. And he's like, is it my turn to go in?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny.
It's good. It's really good because of the previous song about how the guy was really good at inflicting pain.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which means this guy coming in specifically to get pain inflicted
Yeah.
on him is
It's-
very funny.
It's so good. Bill Murray, he looks like he wants to be there, which is always a plus with one of his performances. He very often does not want to be in the movies he's in.
I've noticed.
I loved the weird sexual tension between them. Like, I honestly think that they should have ended up together. They have this weird
Oh, yeah, that-
homoerotic,
I know, right?
like
Yeah. I
sadomasochistic relationship.
They were made for each other. The
Exactly.
guy that inflicts pain and the guy that wants the pain, right? It
Exactly.
yeah, I ship them as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he does say the line, I'm sure I'll need a long, slow root canal
Yeah.
to Steve Martin.
I mean, he says a lot of things to Steve
He
Martin.
does say a lot of
like,
things to Steve
please
Martin, yeah.
inflict pain on me.
So this character actually, and it's probably a reason why he doesn't have a song, he's not actually in the stage play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is something that they took from the original movie, played by Jack Nicholson. The character
That's
in the movie is
funny.
played by Jack Nicholson. And they were like, this is a funny bit from the original movie that we're just going to put in
Yeah.
the remake
Absolutely.
musical thing. But yeah, he's not in the stage play, which is it's so good.
What I'm like is like, so Bill Murray sits down in the chair and
Yeah.
then like, basically it's very, very sexual with like everything that's going on. He's saying like, yes, more, like that kind of vibes.
More doctor.
Yeah,
more.
pretty much. And I'm like, I bet that like this character was so hard, like so
The whole
erect
time.
the whole time.
For sure.
That like it would have been so difficult to perform any oral care on him because his dick would have been so hard. You couldn't like get around him.
For sure.
And like the way this
A
whole
pillar in the middle of the room.
Exactly.
You gotta go around it, you know?
Yeah.
just this whole interaction was so funny. But the way that like Steve Martin's character kind of gets sad because he's not getting what he wants out of it.
Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah.
yeah.
And then like
He doesn't want people to enjoy
no,
it. You
he
know?
wants them to be
He wants
scared
to
of
inflict
him.
Pain, yeah.
Yeah. And then
He's got this bit of a power kink. I think,
Exactly.
you know?
I think we see Bill Murray break slightly when there's like a close up and Steve Martin's like, no, stop. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. and like Bill Murray has all these cotton
Yeah.
buds
Oh,
in his
yeah,
mouth.
yeah, yeah,
the
And he
mouth.
like pushing them out with his tongue.
Yeah.
But he like forgets, like not forgets, but can't get half of them out.
Yeah.
So he's like laughing while he's like trying to get them out.
yeah.
And it was just like so funny.
Yeah.
That's great.
I think as well, I don't know if it's in this scene or it's in an earlier scene, but one of Steve Martin's other patients is actually played by Heather Henson, which is the daughter of Jim Henson. And one of the puppeteers of Audrey is, of course, Brian Henson, which is another one of Jim Henson's kids. So there's a bunch of Hensons in
Nepotism.
this, for sure.
Bustin' makes me feel good.
What?
Is Jim Henson
Bill
even?
Murray.
Oh, Bill Murray.
Bill Murray, yeah. So, dentist guy kicks Bill Murray out. He's
Yeah.
like, fuck
Kicks him
off,
out.
you fucking perv.
And
Get
Yeah,
Rick
the fuck out.
literally. And he's like pushing him out the door, and Bill Murray's stolen some of the like
Oh,
equipment
yeah,
because he wants to. Yeah.
the fucking instruments.
That was so funny.
Made up dentist instruments. with
Also,
yeah,
spikes
like
on
they
it.
refer to him as it. Like
Yeah.
the nurse and the dentist refer to Bill Murray. It's like,
Oh, they've
does
encountered it before.
It have an appointment?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, but he's probably getting off on you like depersonalizing.
No, for
him.
sure,
Yeah,
100%.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, just the layers to this
It's so good.
interaction is so funny.
And then, Rick Moranis
It's
is there. It's true. And then Rick Moranis is there, and then he's like, all right, you're in next. So Steve Martin, like, he starts to get to work on Rick Moranis, but he gets a little bit too high.
Janie's got a gun, first of all.
Well, I mean, first,
Oh,
Rick
he's-
Moranis has a gun. Yeah, that's true.
He's casually got one, you know.
He's
as
just
you do.
strapped. He's in Skid
I mean,
Row. He's
yeah,
strapped.
It's,
sure.
it's America.
Oh, I didn't mention it. During Steve Martin's song, we get an inside shot, like the camera's inside the mouth of one of the patients.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was a really good shot.
That was so
actually.
clever.
That was
We
awesome.
didn't mention that. It was great.
That was really
shot,
fun
and there's
during that.
earlier when we first bring out Audrey 2, when
Yes.
he's still a little baby. Rick Moranis is carrying the camera, like it's a POV of the
Yeah,
plant,
yeah.
and
Oh,
like,
but it's yes.
but often this is done for like babies. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like to
yeah,
show the
yeah,
perspective
yeah,
of a
yeah,
child.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I was like, oh, it's his baby.
for sure, yeah.
And so we're meant to be
Baby
like,
plant.
oh, it's cute. And this one, it's like, ew, it's gooby, and the perspective's so warped in
sure.
the mouth. Like,
I like, like all the teeth.
the teeth is hello.
All right. And then Steve Martin, he ODs on Nangs.
Pretty much.
And-
No, well, first we get the back and forth between Rick Moranis, he's in his head, like he's taking out the gun to like shoot him when Steve Martin's back's turned, but he's like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not a murderer, like
Yeah.
the back and forth. And then Steve Martin puts on this like fucking like
So funny.
I don't know,
Giant
torture
mask.
apparatus,
Yeah.
kink apparatus,
Yeah.
kinky Jason.
I would say it's like meant to be a mock thing of like something you would put on a patient, right?
Yeah.
for
sure.
like gassing
Like
them
the
up.
mask,
But
yeah. He's kinda like-
he
like
just
taking
like
one and-
equips it on.
Exactly, yeah.
It's half a gas mask, half one of those giant like face screws that
Yeah.
they
Like
put
in
on
the
instead
in
of
the Saw
braces.
movie.
Yeah,
True. Yeah.
And then he ODs because he
ODs.
sees that Rick Moranis is going to shoot him, and then
He tries to take it off and
He
doesn't
tries
try.
to take it off,
but he's
He
laughing
just-
the whole time because he's on next.
High as fuck.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
and then he
great.
fucking
And then he ODs.
yeah.
He ODs and then,
then-
Rick Moranis chops him up and feeds him to Audrey.
No, we get one of my favorite jokes of all
Okay.
time.
All right.
Come on,
where,
Sandra.
where someone has either accidentally killed someone,
Yeah.
or they're trying to get rid of a body,
Yep.
and they're dragging it downstairs, and then
Yep.
it slides
Yeah.
too far, and like bonks, hits their head,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, ow, and then you're like, wait, that's a dead body. It doesn't matter. But what I want to know is,
Sure.
in my opinion, I think dismembering someone
Oh.
Yes.
is much worse than killing and then dismembering someone
What are you saying here? You're saying it's worse to dismember someone.
without killing them. Like
Without
no,
killing
they're
them.
dead, but they're like a body, but you
Yes.
haven't killed them and you're just dismembering them. I find that way more like there's no passion in it.
I guess.
You gotta care about
you're
someone
saying-
to kill them.
You're
I understand what you mean.
You're saying you should kill someone first before you dismember them?
Yes.
Instead of them already dying from something
Yeah,
else.
I think it's way more fucked up to just dismember a dead
a
body.
dead body
Right.
than
Then
have
kill
killed them
someone
before
and then
them
dismember them.
Dismember them.
I think
okay.
I understand what you mean.
Yeah, it's I don't know what to think about that one actually. I might
I think about that
It's
for
just
a
a
little
question.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I usually have an answer for something like that, but I guess if you're chopping them up after killing something, it's like you got to get
You've
rid of
already-
the evidence.
you've already done it.
Yeah.
But it was like he had the intention to murder. So he's already done half of the murder, which is the intention to murder.
Yeah.
So he's
But
just
He
missing
didn't murder him though. He just, I guess it was manslaughter because
Technically.
he could have helped and he didn't do anything, and it was
Yeah.
a situation where he caused it to happen.
For sure.
So going back to that previous
So he
question,
did
is
kill him.
manslaughter okay versus murdering, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you're fine with them manslaughtering someone and then chopping up the body. Like if I hit a pedestrian, right?
You chop up the body.
chop up the
no,
body.
I chopped up the
that's-
body.
That's worse.
I feel like
that's
that's
worse.
worse.
I
Oh, that's
agree. I
worse.
think
Okay.
manslaughtering and then killing someone is worse because yes, you had the intention to do it, but you didn't go through with it.
Yeah. And
But then
it happens
now
anyway.
you are.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's
For
so. At least if you're
'Cause
murdering
he could
someone,
have just like called the cops and been
No,
like, "Hey,
exactly.
he OD'd."
Well, I think the worst case scenario though is you just find a dead body and then you're like, I'm gonna chop this up.
exactly.
Yeah. that's like the
It
very
definitely-
bottom of
I
the
think
scale.
It definitely shows that you're a bit more fucked up.
For sure,
Precisely.
exactly.
If you're killing someone,
Yeah.
you're like you have that intention. You
Yeah,
have that
you have
goal.
the intention
Yeah.
to kill someone.
So it doesn't really matter how it happens.
Yes.
Yeah,
But if you're like scared and you're like, ooh, with a gun,
Yeah.
and then they die anyway, you're like, well, I'll chop them up now. You're like, hold
Yeah.
on a minute.
Yeah, that's a
Yep.
bit psychopathic.
Hold
yeah,
up.
Yeah. I see what you're saying, and I agree. Yes.
Yeehaw! I just had some spicy buffalo wings, and that means that I'm ready to record a promo. Sally McSella here, and oh boy, Sandro and Zach over on patreon.com/oldie-but-a-goodie, they've been talking about the Friday the 13th movies. And did you know that in the 9th film, it's revealed that Jason Voorhees is actually a body-hopping worm? They just reviewed that one. Here's a clip from that episode.
But yeah, that scene where someone slices Randy's neck open and then Jason the worm crawls out. Now, you were watching the ending of this movie at my house.
Yeah.
So I got to see your reaction to that scene, which was just you laughing for like 2 minutes straight.
It was.
How cute is that
was
little
so-
Jason worm? So cute. Just running around like... It's so good. It really highlights the fact that Jason is just a kid as well.
Yeah. Oh my god. This was me. It was just me like that for fucking 5 minutes straight. Oh my god.
Wowee! This episode sounds flippin' fantastic, and you can only get it at flippinpatreon.com/oldie-but-a-goodie-pod, as well as all of the other Friday the 13th reviews. They've done 9 of them. Plus, you can head up there and get ad-free episodes, which means you never get to hear me talking about my buffalo wings. They were really spicy. Really, really spicy. I'm looking forward personally to when they come out in a couple hours' time, because my name's Sally McSeller, and my digestive system is fast as fuck, boy. Wahoo!
Rick Moranis now has confidence because he's chopped someone up and fed him to a
Yeah.
plant.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
To be fair,
Mr. Muchnick saw him.
He saw it. He saw the
yeah.
silhouette, and then he peeked into the thing, and then he sees it
we
itself.
see the silhouette, and then we
Yeah.
see his reaction.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's obviously seen it.
Yes.
Because then he's hiding for him in the basement.
Yeah, a little bit later on. But before then, we get the song Suddenly Seymour, which I didn't love the first time I heard it, but hearing it this time, it's obviously a joke because the actor who plays Audrey, like Ellen Green, is like doing some very over the top theater singing.
Well, also it's like a love song to himself because it's like
Oh, yeah, 'cause he
getting the
starts singing about
confidence.
himself.
Yeah. Well, I think the idea is now that Audrey's boyfriend is dead. He's got an opportunity, and he's been proactive. He's gone out and done something.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's also a parody of like, I guess romance musicals like A West Side Story.
that sort of-
Unrequited Love.
Yes.
and character progression.
Yeah,
as
star-crossed lovers.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
And then he goes back into the shop, and Mr. Mushnick knows about it, and we got the song "Supper Time."
Now you got to kill your dad / boss.
Yeah.
Except he doesn't really. Except he does
Again,
Yeah.
like this is the thing is like he is not actively participating.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I like the director's cut ending, where spoilers, he dies, because he wasn't an active participant
he
in
just
anything.
let it happen,
He just kind of
though.
let
Yeah.
everything happen. So I'm like, he should die. He's not a good guy at the
No.
end of the day. You know what I mean?
No, he's definitely.
Because he
It's
could have
like
said no, and he
Yeah.
could have said yes, but he just let
he
it
let
happen.
the terrorists
Yeah.
win.
The alien.
The alien
Yeah,
terrorists.
he let
For sure.
the alien terrorists win.
Sure.
He saw something and should have said something.
Yeah. You see any suspicious activity?
Yeah.
Interdimensional plant beings?
Yeah.
Yep.
If you see someone's
call
finger
me
getting the sucky sucky,
Ew.
That's right.
Feed me.
feed me.
Also, what's funny is when Rick Moranis feeds Audrey to
Stop that.
Steve Martin, like Audrey 2 gets high from the laughing gas as well.
Oh, yeah, that was
So,
good.
like,
That was good.
Like Tui is just like laughing the whole time. It's so terrifying.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fucking
No, definitely.
scary.
Yeah, it's a scary plant. There's a lot
it
of
is.
teeth in that thing.
Oh my god,
Chompers.
we haven't
Yeah.
talked about the design of it. It's so good. I loved the
mouth,
detail
the head.
inside of the mouth.
Yeah.
For sure.
The
It was
head
so-
is great.
It was so gooby and like
Yeah.
Yeah, you
viscous.
would have liked the
I
inner
wanted
mouth.
to see more wetness.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of wet in that mouth.
Hey.
I just think like it had so much expression for a puppet that
Absolutely.
doesn't have a face as well. Just like
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
mouth.
Well,
that
it's
was
all
so
the
much.
lips
mouth,
as well.
Yeah.
the lips were a little too sensual, I would say, for my taste.
It's so the lips in particular are so uncanny. It
Yeah,
looks like
yeah.
CGI, but I know it's not.
No.
But it
Which
looks
is
like it is the
wild.
way that they're moving.
It made me very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me the heebie-jeebies,
For
but
real.
in like a good way.
I really liked it. Now
Feed me.
with Mushnick out of the way, Seymour, we get a song where he's doing contracts. He's getting money.
Yeah.
Wait, during the West Side Story parody song.
yeah.
Like, you know, he's like, now we can be together because your boyfriend's missing.
Yes.
Because she talked to the cops and they hadn't seen him and there was a scuffle at his office. And she's like, well, I had to get a second job. That's how we met. I had to get a second job and I was working like at a bar or a club or
Yeah,
something like that
yeah,
at
yeah.
night. And she's like, I had to wear cheap and tasteless outfits, not like the one that I'm wearing now. But this is so funny because the whole time she's just been wearing really revealing,
Yeah.
like very scantily clad clothes that
yes.
like show off her breasts the
Yes,
whole time.
the whole movie,
So
yeah.
she's like, not like now with
Not
her
like
tits
with
like
tits. Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
out.
yeah.
And it was just so funny.
That was very funny.
I like how she's also like secretly wished her boyfriend would die.
yeah.
So she's really cut up about it, not because he's dead.
No, she feels
but-
guilty.
But because she
Yeah.
wished it would happen.
and then
For sure.
that's that low self-esteem is that
Yeah.
she feels like it's her fault.
Yeah. So yeah, he's making heaps of deals, heaps of stuff. We get the
Yeah.
character that he makes
He's on
a deal.
TV.
He's on
Yeah.
TV. He's got a gardening show.
That's right. He makes a deal with a character called Patrick Martin, who is the lights and scene and marketing executive for World Botanical Enterprises. He comes back on the rooftop near
At
the end
the
of the
end,
movie
yeah.
as well. In the version we saw, he's played by Paul Dooley.
Ooh.
And he's from like 16 Candles and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
He's quite a famous actor.
Sure.
So that's a bit of a cameo. But in the theatrical cut, that character is played by Jim Belushi.
Oh my
wow.
god!
And they brought him in because Paul Dooley wasn't able to do the reshoots because his character also comes back in the end of the theatrical
Yeah,
cut as well.
right.
So they needed to
that's really
reshoot
interesting.
his scenes, and
So
Paul
they
Dooley
just
wasn't
put-
available.
Put Jim Belushi.
So they
in.
just got Jim Belushi
Oh,
in.
now I
Wait.
want to see that version as well.
Is Jim Belushi the Belushi that was in Home Alone, or is that the other Belushi?
This is the Belushi who's in Twin Peaks and SNL. I
Okay.
don't think it's the Home Alone Belushi. But it is the hoodwinked Belushi.
I
that's
love
a pretty good
Hoodwink.
Belushi.
That
You
is
know what?
my favorite movie.
So far, out of all the Belushis I know,
Yeah.
they're pretty high up.
I don't mind Jim Belushi.
I'd rather a Belushi than a Baldwin.
That I agree with that.
Ooh,
I
shots
agree with
fired
that.
at the Baldwin.
Yeah.
That was a bad joke given the context of what happened with Alec Baldwin.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, actually, that's a good point. I didn't think about Wow.
Anyway.
Anyway, getting back to the plot of the movie.
Lots of stuff and things happening.
Lots of stuff and things
he's
happening.
signing contracts. He doesn't
Signing
know
deals.
what's happening.
He proposes to Audrey as well.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, let's run away because he wants to just leave it. And this
Yeah.
is, again, showing that he's not
because
an
he's-
active participant. Because
Yeah,
instead of
'cause his
fixing
boss
his
is
fucking
dead.
mess,
Yeah.
he just leaves it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I like to say that here we see Audrey's costuming change. So a lot of the time we saw her in black,
Yep.
which is a mourning color.
Yep.
So, and she's a florist, so color is important to florists.
Oh, yes.
For sure, for sure. I do like the part where she's making up a bouquet for the
Yeah,
the
she's
funeral.
like white lilies, and then she just like throws glitter on them. It's so funny.
She
was very
sprays
funny.
glue and then throws glitter on, and that's it. That's
it.
the entire thing. I'm like,
Emergency. It's so funny.
That was hilarious.
But here we see her like wearing pink and white,
Yeah.
which is like more closer than to the like trad wife colors, I guess,
And
than what she
even
imagined.
wears like a wedding gown at the very end.
she does. She's wearing like more, I guess, like I don't want to be like virginal colors, but
Yeah.
more innocent.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess she's going from
Frilly.
not wifey to wifey.
That
is
if you want to do the Tim Burton comparison.
Yeah. That's a good point.
But I think
Yep.
that's really interesting because she's becoming her actualized self.
Yes.
yes.
Whereas his costuming doesn't change the whole movie
That's a
because
good
he's the same
point,
fucking
'cause he
person
keeps-
and he's the fucking worst.
He doesn't change.
She's becoming dead.
Well,
gonna-
that's what
she's
happens.
gonna
well,
die.
she's gonna get chomped.
She's going to get
Okay.
a phone call.
Yeah,
ring,
the,
ring.
The fucking,
Hello.
the payphone scene is so long, and I love it.
Yeah, where
it's
Audrey's
so
like,
funny.
he's sending like his vines out to like
He's like-
get a coin. I'll put it in the phone. I'll make a call. It's
Yeah.
so funny.
It's so long, and so much work went into
Someone,
this.
someone
yeah.
say Uber Eats. Am I right?
That's right. That's true. So yeah, he calls Audrey to come over, and now she's wearing a wedding dress.
She's wearing
Yeah.
it because they're gonna run away and get married.
Yeah.
and he's like, Rick Moranis has gone out to get him something to eat for the last time. We
Yeah.
don't know who or what it is.
Well, I think he says something about going to the butcher's.
the butcher.
Or something.
Okay, yeah, right.
He's like getting. Because he's like, you know what? I've had enough of you.
Yeah.
Like, he's starting to rebel.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he hasn't rebelled.
Exactly.
Because he's like, I can't feed you anymore, but the plant hungers.
Yes.
Feed me.
And so she comes over,
She
and then
comes
he's
over.
like, "Time to evil dead you."
Yeah,
the
he's
lines
like,
go up
he's
her
like,
dress and shit.
lifting up her dress and like,
Yeah.
she doesn't really notice. Like, she doesn't.
Well, she
'cause she's
does,
like,
but she's like gently pushing.
yeah, she's like more
Yeah.
concerned that there's
a-
something wrong with the plant.
It's like when
that
you-
he needs help.
He's about to chomp her. Rick Moranis shows up. Is like, "Oh, don't do that! I'll
Well,
pull her out of your mouth."
She gets chomped.
Yeah,
Well, she does get
she's in
chomped, and
there.
she's dying.
She gets chomped.
She does get
Yeah,
chomped.
yeah. We see the legs out of the mouth. you
Yeah,
know, with-
she's got her belly's cut a little bit.
That's right.
Her dress is
which-
torn in the
when he
stomach
rescues
too,
her, you
yeah.
can see like cuts and bruises.
She
and
gets
stuff.
chomped. She's dying.
He pulls her out of the mouth, and then we get a reprise of Somewhere That's Green as she's
Yeah,
dying. As she's
she's
dying, she gives off the funniest like dying sigh as well.
She's
We're,
like
at the end of the song.
So dramatic and over the top. And before she has her song, he's like, they like run out of the store, and he's like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Yes, no," and I'm like, "Me either." Like,
Yeah.
I answer questions before I've like actually thought about them.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, it's so funny.
I don't get why she wishes to be eaten by the plant. I know she explains why,
She
so she
wants-
could be, close to him, that
Well,
sort of
Oh,
thing.
yeah, at all times,
I
yeah.
think she just wants to get out of. She doesn't want to die in Skid Row. Like, I
Yeah.
think that ultimately is
For
it.
sure.
She wants
That's
to
fair.
die someplace green, and she's
Yeah.
dying.
Yeah.
This is the closest place that she can
Yeah.
be. We know that she loves nature and like plants and stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
think that this is
I'm going to say it. I think it's a little fucked up.
that she wants to get eaten, but she wants to get bored. You
yeah.
think it's fucked
You're
up?
king
Yeah, I
shaming
think
it's
her?
fucked up.
You're king shaming Audrey
yes.
right now.
No, but yeah, we get a very dramatic scene of him carrying her
Carrying
dead
her.
body
Yeah,
in
like, very-
to feed it.
Very like Frankenstein bride.
Exactly.
Yeah.
like,
Very much that, yeah.
Very emotional. Very,
Yeah.
Phantom of the Opera.
I couldn't
very,
get out
very
of my
Phantom
head
of the
though
Opera.
that he's taking the body to the plant that has caused this problem. Like
Well,
has
she
caused this
asked.
death.
She
I
asked
know,
to be eaten.
I know, but like that's all I could think about
I
in
think
that scene. You
ultimately, she knew that also the plant was going to win.
know? Oh yeah.
So she was like, "Well, I may as well."
depends what
fuck-
movie you watched.
That's fair.
That's true.
She's
it
like,
depends
"Well,
which version.
I may as well if I'm going to get like if she died there in the street, she just died in the street. She would
Yeah.
be another girl that died in the street."
Yeah,
Exactly.
That's true.
And
At least
so-
she can go to the afterlife and be like, I got bored by a plant.
Yeah,
What are you
exactly. I
fucking
think she
doing?"
didn't.
Exactly.
She just didn't want to be a girl dead in the gutter, which is totally valid
That's
given the
fair.
context
Yeah.
of where she grew up.
For sure.
And look, I have no problems with her thoughts in that situation. It's
Just
more his.
Yeah, and I'm
He's
like,
again, he doesn't make a decision. She makes the decision.
That's
and he
for
does it.
real.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Once
you know.
again,
He just carries it out.
Yeah, wow.
But then he's like, actually, I have made a decision, and that decision is I'm going to kill myself.
That's
now.
so funny. Imagine you like feed your fiance to a plant, and then you immediately run upstairs to go jump off the top, like
Why
the
don't you
building.
just go with her? You know?
Yeah,
Just
well, they-
snuggle
Sure,
in
just
there.
They
jump
like
into the plant.
he like
yeah.
hugs her as he's putting her in, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's gonna jump in with her, like he's gonna kill
Yeah.
himself now.
Yeah.
No,
No,
he
instead
runs
he's going to run up
upstairs and
to
kills
the roof
himself.
to go kill himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
All I can think of is what a waste. You know, the
Yeah.
plant's right there. I said he was
Right.
hungry.
Look, yeah, no, you're right. But
Might as
he's
well commit at this
Good
point.
good for the environment. Recycling bodies.
Yeah, you could say anything about the plant, but you can't say he was bad for the environment.
Exactly.
No, he was only bad because he was what he ate, which was bad people. It's
true.
Except for Audrey.
except for Audrey.
Mr. Mitchnick was.
It's weird
fine.
because the
He's
plant
fine.
doesn't become a pushover when it eats the fucking
eats-
blood off
Yeah,
the
but
eye.
it gets high when it eats the dentist.
Yeah,
good
the
point, good
point.
nitrous oxide.
Well,
I
guess
think eating dentists is just bad for you. I don't recommend
be
it.
bad for your teeth.
Well, yeah, like it seems like the plant only needs 4 people to get to full power as well.
This is some weird arbitrary rules.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters.
I don't
think
think
it just
so.
wants to inflict as much pain
I'm
as
going to
possible
bring up a little bit of lore.
for the
Okay.
plant.
Not necessarily this plant, but from the VeggieTales
Oh
parody
my
of this
God.
one.
I'm not going to edit you, actually. I'm allowing
Pizza
this.
Yeah,
Angel, please
yeah.
come to me.
Come to
Yeah,
me.
because VeggieTales did a semi-parody of this.
That's so
Essentially, they made a essentially an episode where an evil plant comes
Right.
from
Yes,
space,
right.
and then, but it's all about I think it's rumors and other things, and like
Like gossiping and stuff.
gossip.
Right.
Yeah. It covers that.
Oh,
Because
yes.
you talk with the plant and you talk all this shit, and then the plant starts.
Eats it.
Yeah, it eats it up.
Right.
But then it goes and talks with other people, and it like all these rumors spread, and so it feeds this plant. And by the end of it, it's caused this like rumor mill of lies and
Yeah,
deception and other
yeah.
things, and it's this giant fucking plant that they have to destroy.
Yeah, the episode is called Larry Boy and the Rumor Weed.
Yeah,
Which
the
I've
rumor
actually
weed.
I've seen
What
I've
the fuck?
seen this
Yeah.
this DVD before.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Probably at my house. because
Probably
we owned it.
That might have been it.
Anyway, in this, in the VeggieTales
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
the plant sets out roots that go around
Yeah,
to
right.
other people's houses, and they
talk
pretend
shit.
that they're the they
yeah.
talk the rumors. But like they don't tell them that they're spreading the rumors with other people as well.
Yeah.
Like so, it's just like everyone
Right.
thinks they have their own
yeah.
individual plant.
Yeah.
Where it's actually this big one connected roots, and it's all about the
Interesting.
rumor mill and how spreading rumors is bad.
Yeah.
But I would say that works well in this movie. It's possible that it spread its roots and was going and feeding off other things and
That's
finding
true.
other people to
I mean,
feed.
That is
potentially.
true.
And I think in the ending, it's shown everybody buys all these little
Yeah,
plants.
well,
Yeah.
we get that from Jim Belushi.
No, because this isn't in the theatrical ending.
Right, so not Jim Belushi.
Not Jim Belushi. We get this from not Jim Belushi, who, shows up just as Rick Moranis is about to kill himself, and it's like, I took a cutting of your plant and
Yeah.
it grew, and I'm going to keep feeding it.
Unconsensually, may I say.
For real.
Yeah.
And
Or it could have been consensually and he didn't know what he was signing because he's such a
pushover.
pushover
Yeah.
and doesn't fucking read anything.
But
That's true.
also he does say we don't need you. The plant, like the plant,
you don't own
is
a
not
patent on
copyright.
plants.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is true.
Ask my
So
lawyers. I
I
got
think
plenty
he did it
of them.
unconsensually because
But-
he's like, you don't own a
Like,
copyright on
can
the
you
plant.
patent a plant? Because I feel like you can.
I think that
I
has
think you
happened in the
can,
past.
But he
he
hadn't
didn't.
yet.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
I know you can because people have bred specific types of peppers,
Ah.
like hot chili peppers and stuff.
Yeah,
and
right.
Those are copyrighted.
And like flowers and stuff, right?
Yeah,
Surely,
yeah.
like if you get a specific color,
yeah, like
yeah,
some
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of special tulip or something.
roses, or like patented.
I'm definitely sure you can copyright them.
Yeah.
But I think our boy here has been an idiot.
Yeah.
Copyright his plant.
He's been an idiot.
He's been
He the
an
whole
idiot.
time.
I think he's a dum-dum.
He's a
Wow.
he's a
I
dum
think he
dum.
made a bit of a boo-boo here.
This is a bit of a
But-
hot take, actually.
Yeah.
Also, the gardening marketing guy.
Yeah.
he's like. He's got the little baby Audrey plant.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is going to be bigger than hula hoops. I'd like to say that hula hoops is still pretty big. I've got
Yep.
a lot of friends that like to
That's-
hula hoop.
That's true.
true.
But as we saw in the movie we watched that the Coen brothers made about the making of the hula hoops,
Yep.
they were pretty big at their time, bigger
in
than
the
they
60s.
are now.
Kids didn't have anything else to do.
That's true.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? Go work at the factory and hula hoop?
They did do that. actually.
That's exactly what they did.
exactly
yeah.
what
they
they
went to
told
the
me.
factory and they
Yeah.
were like,
When,
yeah,
when people
I'm
are
hula hooping
are like,
factory
take
work."
me back, I'm going to be like, to hula hooping and,
And-
child
yeah,
labor?
that's right.
And they're like, yeah,
They're like, yeah.
hula hooping fucking
the
slapped.
60s, the 50s? Yeah, hula hooping.
for sure. And then Rick Moranis is like, all right, well, if you're going to do that, I'm going to go kill the plant.
Yeah, and
Yep.
he's strapped up again.
Straps himself up, and then we get the great song, probably my favorite song.
This one is so good.
Mean Green Mother from Outer Space, and I'm bad.
He's bad.
So
Because
good.
he essentially just like is putting all his chips on the table. You
Yeah.
know, he's like,
You're a
what the fuck-
dum-dum.
Yeah, what the fuck are you gonna do now?
Yeah.
Well-
You fed me too much. I'm pretty much indestructible.
For
I'm
sure.
gonna fucking kill
Exactly.
you.
Like, Rick Moranis did everything he said.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and then didn't ask any questions either.
Yep.
Like, if your plant starts talking, probably don't
Don't
take
do
it,
what it.
take
Oh,
it
yeah.
to the government, I would say.
Yeah,
True.
No, yeah,
But he wanted to be famous.
yeah.
Well, no.
did
he,
he?
he wanted to be
the-
successful.
He just wanted,
plant did-
he just wanted Audrey.
Well,
the,
true.
And
yeah,
she
yeah.
wanted someone with money.
Do you know what the plant did? The plant was like, hey, you want to get that Audrey? I can get you that Audrey. You just have to give me a bit of human blood. Don't worry
Sucky,
about
sucky.
it. Give us
Exactly.
sucky, sucky.
Feed me.
Yeah,
Feed me.
yeah, yeah. I would also like to mention in the VeggieTales one, the
Yeah.
lips are also uncanny in that one.
Oh,
boy.
that's kind of worse. I feel
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
worse.
But it's like female plant. So it is,
That's weirdly okay.
but it doesn't eat people. It
Right.
spreads rumors.
Okay, so
because it's like a
the
gossip
woman
girl.
plant spreads
Yes.
rumors.
Yes.
I mean,
correct.
it's
You don't see
VeggieTales.
any problem with
VeggieTales
this?
was very.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Pizza
just-
Angel is a banger though and has
That's
no
true.
problem.
Yeah, yeah.
But in the scene where like Rick Moranis is
Yeah.
confronting
Yes.
Tui, he gets pantsed. Like the vines
Yeah.
reach
He
out
does
and
get
pants
pantsed.
him.
Yeah,
And
they're just mocking him.
I was like, he got plantsed. That's when you
Yeah, yeah, that was a good one.
You get
That's a good
pantsed
one.
by a plant. It's getting
Getting
plantsed.
I like that a lot. That's really funny.
That was really good.
Anyway, so he shoots Tui, and Tui's bulletproof.
Yeah, Tui doesn't give a
Tui doesn't
crap.
give a
Doesn't
fuck.
care.
Yeah.
Oh, he name drops Creature of the Black Lagoon.
He
Actually,
dies,
He named
which
up that.
there you
I
go.
thought was funny because I was like, but this is a Warner Brothers movie.
Well, this is actually. Oh yes, no, you're right. It was
And I'm like,
distributed by Warner
are they
Brothers.
allowed to say that?
I think if you just name drop something, it's fine.
Because they also
Yeah.
he says the thing as well.
He also mentions it too.
It
which is such a
and
random
the
thing to
thing.
reference.
Well,
I think
It
back
had
then
just
it was
come
also
out.
not like copyright wasn't as
Harsh.
as
guess.
harsh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
to be fair, in comedies and stuff, you can still mention
Plus,
things.
you can still mention things,
That
and
scene where
also-
the Godzilla one, where
Yes.
it's like, oh, that looks like Godzilla, but it's
sure.
not Godzilla. You know,
Yeah.
the whole joke is that they mention
Yes.
Godzilla,
For sure.
but it's not, right?
And also, like, nowadays it's such an IP war with movies where, like, of course, in a Marvel movie, they're only going to mention
Other Marvel Disney stuff.
yeah,
Disney stuff. Because
Yeah.
if you give anything else airtime, then you're promoting
Yeah,
that, essentially.
free.
Yeah, the idea with those ones is you don't want to give your competitors promotion
Yeah.
for free.
So I
Unless
think
you're
you can
Deadpool.
mention whatever you want in a movie. Well, like, how does Tarantino do what he does? All his movies are just references to other
I
stuff.
don't.
Like he's like, have you heard that Madonna song? What about that?
Have you seen a Tarantino movie? Because it's not like that.
No, that's
No, it is.
exactly
It's
how
just
Tarantino-
it's just Samuel L. Jackson walking around, and he's like,
Oh, I love
You heard that
Burger King.
I'll let you go to McDonald's.
Yeah, but I think they were actually
Have you heard
sponsored by
about that
McDonald's.
motherfucking
Big Mac.
Madonna song?
It's true.
That motherfucking Madonna song, it pops off.
Anyway,
I want to
Audrey
see that in
2.
Pulp Fiction now.
It's true. And then Audrey 2 eats Rick Moranis,
He like picks him
spits out the
Oh, it's very dramatic.
glasses.
Yeah.
picks him up and dangles him down his throat, and we get the
Yeah.
big song. And this is where the Kermit, the
Yeah, we get
Kermit,
a bit more Kermit mouth.
puppets
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
out. And the
little ones.
He's got
The
all
vines.
little vines, and they
He's got
have
his
lots
little
of little
babies.
mouths on them. And I'm like, yeah, and they're all different, like colored.
They're all
And then,
harmonizing.
so after he's dead, we then see a little bit of a montage of
Consumers.
people, buying the
Buying the
plants.
plants, yeah.
And my theory is they set up like a little vine system.
Yeah.
Where they are like those big forests that are all connected.
Yeah.
via
Yeah,
roots
yeah,
I
and
think
stuff.
they're definitely like a hive mind,
Which
for
is how
sure.
they
Oh,
get
for
so
sure.
big, is
Yeah.
that they like
feeding
share
off each other's
nutrients.
nutrients.
and then they attack. They
They-
eat all the cities
They attack Ohio and Cleveland
and the rest of America
and
New York.
presumably.
and then the rest of America as well, I think.
Yep. We get like the army rolling out. We get some scenes of that, which is pretty fun.
I love this sort of ending dramatic where they just destroy buildings. I love when they came across like a factory and it like blew
Oh, that
down.
was so funny. It reminded me of like, have you ever, when you were a kid, like had a glass of milk with a straw and you're like blowing bubbles in
Oh,
it?
of course.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
of
it
course.
reminded me of.
That was what it was like. Yeah.
Did they actually pull down the set for this? Like, were they actually blowing up the set?
I don't. Well, at this point, it would be two guys walking around in a miniature set.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it was.
right.
I think it was a miniatures.
No, it
that they
was,
used for
but,
it,
like-
yeah.
They probably did destroy some stuff. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, like,
it looked great.
in the final scene where Audrey is eating Rick Moranis and the whole shop is falling apart, that
Yeah.
would have had to be shot last because like I reckon
Yeah.
that they were destroying the actual
They pulled
set.
down
that
the
they,
actual
Yeah.
like shop set.
yeah.
yeah, and it was really fun. It was really funny to watch.
And then it ends with them on the Statue of Liberty, and it's like the end. But then Audrey True bursts through the movie screen,
Whoa!
eats the friggin' audience.
That would have been great.
And it was a the end question mark exclamation mark question mark. And I'm like, normally they do just a question
Yeah.
mark, so this was really funny.
Yeah.
When the army rocks up, there's like a marine, like they're shooting at one of the plants,
Yeah.
and then they turn around. There's one like above them, and it's very like Godzilla, King
Yeah,
Kong
yeah,
references.
yeah.
exactly.
But the marine mouths, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
But
Yes.
because it's like a PG movie, so
Yeah.
it's
That
just
was
like
so good.
There's no
just-
audio. Yeah.
it's just no audio, but you can
That's
tell
very
that he's
funny.
saying "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
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 And I was like, hee hee.
Yeah.
yeah.
And this is where they're category-sized gargantuan. I would say at the size.
Yeah, they're
before.
swinging off the
Yeah.
one of the bridges, Golden Gate Bridge, or one of the.
Something like that.
This city doesn't exist, so they're just swinging off a bridge and.
And when he ate Audrey, he was large category sized. And when
For
he
real.
ate,
True.
what's his face, Nerd Boy,
Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis.
Nick
Yeah, he was
Moranis.
huge category sized with his
Moranis.
little babies, and then he goes gargantuan. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
No, for sure.
Seymour.
See more. But yeah.
Now he's seeing a lot less.
He's seeing less. See more. He's seeing less because he doesn't have his glasses on.
That's
no, it's
it.
good. That's good stuff. Yeah, like, and apparently this ending as well, incredibly expensive.
Oh,
Yeah, no shit, because they pulled down the fucking set.
It
was awesome.
The whole ending cost approximately $5 million, according to Frank Oz. One of the most
that's so
expensive things.
awesome.
Was it because they blew everything up?
Probably because they blew everything
and they
up.
had
Yeah.
so many puppets.
And it's not even in the like theatrical
Canonical
release.
ending, yeah.
Exactly.
That's wild.
So, do you want to know what
dumb.
happened? Well, we've now reached the end of the plot. Do you want to know what actually happened?
absolutely.
I want to say, like, we get a shot when the ending is like starting. We get the shot of like the three girls,
Yeah.
who are the
yes.
chorus, and they're all in like judges' outfits.
That was
Yeah.
very
like they're
funny.
all got
I
judges'
really
robes,
enjoyed
and they're
that.
standing in front of the American flag, and they're just like, and this is what happened, and
Yep.
they're like giving it to us as a warning and like
Yeah.
telling us what happened. But it was just so funny, and I loved their costuming as well. It was so silly.
So what happened was this was the version that was showed to. Well, no. The version that we saw is slightly edited. The ending goes on for a bit longer than it
Yeah.
was because they were like,
It was
we're
so
making-
long. This
Yeah,
scene
it
was
was great.
too long. But I also
I disagree.
I-
Could've gone
I
longer.
was like, is that the joke though? That it's going on for so
I
long?
loved it. I loved watching.
It was
them
like a quarter
through a
of the
city.
movie.
It was like 10
this
minutes.
scene.
Yeah.
great.
I think I'm in the middle of you two. I would have liked maybe half of it.
fair.
I liked it, but I thought it was
fair.
just slightly too long.
I was just enjoying the carnage, just
Okay.
watching these plants. And I'm like, yep, this is what you get, idiots. Shouldn't have fed those fucking plants.
Me when nature reclaims
Yeah,
civilization.
exactly,
That's what you get.
right?
No, for
Yeah.
sure.
It
for
was
sure.
very satisfying. I was like, yeah, because they destroy that factory and stuff. I'm just saying, those plants were probably really great for the
Environment.
local- yeah.
Clear out all that pollution.
Yeah.
So the way that
what
it,
happened?
So the way that it worked back then, I don't know if it still works now, but for a studio to release essentially like a work print of a movie, you take the cut to a bunch of people, you screen it, that
Yeah.
they have the meters or whatever to be like, I like this, I don't like this. You need to get at least a 55% people really enjoyed it.
I don't think they do this anymore because
I don't
the
think they do
amount
it
of shit
anymore.
that comes
Yeah.
out lately that I'm like, has anyone seen this? Because they would have told you if you showed this to one person, they would be like, don't.
Yes, I don't think that they do that anymore, but they did do that for this movie, and this movie only got a 13 on the 100% scale, and that means that they could
Out
not
of
release
100
it.
people.
I don't know.
Oh.
So that means that Warner
What's
Brothers.
the sample size?
I think it's.
I want to know the statistics.
Did they like put out a notice and so
In the
people had to
paper?
sign up? Yeah, like
I think it's probably like people
Just
in
on the what?
Yeah, like just
did they
people on
did
the
they
lot.
like or well, if they're
they'd be
people on the
biased.
lot,
Can
right?
can I-
Yeah, no,
I
but
wanna be,
maybe they were biased.
Probably.
Sandra.
Everyone has bias.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? But like, which way do their biases
Yeah.
lean?
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, are they like filthy normies that don't like musical
Yeah.
horror?
probably. Well,
Yeah.
it would be like an
Cringe.
even mix, like people who don't like this, people
Because they
who
could have
would
put like
this.
an anonymous thing in the paper, like
Probably.
come sign up for this thing.
Who
we
cares?
do
It
some
doesn't
stuff,
fucking
and then
matter.
It turns out.
Anyway,
Yeah, but I would like to know.
I want to know too, but we don't make movies.
No.
Like
well,
that
there
anymore.
are. Well,
It's true.
some movies do test screenings, but they also don't to the degree like it's not a. Your movies don't live or die by it anymore.
Yeah, because like it's not reliant on box office views
sure.
anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, what happened was everyone was loving it until the two
The
main
ending?
characters died.
What
And then
the
they were
fuck?
like,
why?
"Grr."
Why? Okay, and this people are just like, especially like Americans.
Yep.
They're
For
like
sure.
everyone
We
has
hate
to live to
America.
be for it to be happy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
spoilers. What are you going? What? Why you like The Last of Us so much then?
Yeah.
Like
The
what?
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Fucking-
I didn't say
look,
who.
Look,
I
I'm
didn't
saying
say
Game
anything.
of Thrones, like everybody's getting
why do
fucking
you like,
chopped off.
Yeah,
for
Game
everyone.
of Thrones, like House of the Dragon, anything HBO.
Everyone
like,
dies.
Well,
Everyone
I think
loves
those
that.
are also
Everyone loves
like
that.
modern shows as well.
That is modern.
I guess.
In the
Yeah.
80s, people liked predictability. I don't know.
They were
I'm not
all
sure.
on coke, so it's
Yeah,
fine.
true.
they're all
Speaking of drugs,
weak little babies.
that was a callback because you're meant to be high.
Yes.
Oh right.
Oh,
I'm high as
you're
fuck,
a furry.
man.
Why do you
I
sound like
completely
Nicolas
forgot.
Cage though?
True.
Yeah, man. It's because we just watched
It's like
Nicolas
wild,
Cage.
wilder hot.
Oh,
Nikki.
are you referring to me? Who's in your mind?
Oh, hey, I forgot you were there.
Get out of
And
here!
Spectral production of Sandro
I kicked him away.
with the drum
Anyway,
set.
so they went
Yeah,
back to the
with the
drawing
kick.
board and they reshot the whole ending. So
Yeah.
here's what happens in the theatrical cut. I'm just going to read it
All right.
Off the
straight from
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
Spoilers.
Yeah, give it to me,
but
baby.
for
Let's
it.
go.
Yeah, after
Oh
the
my.
podcast.
Feed me.
Free me.
Okay, so cut back. We're cutting back.
Yes.
We're cutting back to
Yes, yes, doctor.
when Audrey's being
About to
eaten.
be eaten.
About to be eaten.
Yep.
She's
She's
about
getting
to be
in
chomped.
that
She's
mouth.
getting chomped,
No,
or
she's
she's
not in
getting
the mouth.
sexually harassed.
She's getting sexually harassed. She's not getting
And she
chomped.
picks up the watering can, and we see her drop it very psycho style as well.
Yeah,
I thought that was
yeah.
very funny.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
So,
What are you doing?
Rick Moranis, he comes back to the shop in time to save her, probably before she's put in the mouth, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
So,
Stop.
and
Oh my.
I'll leave. I'll actually get up and leave right now.
so he shows up, he saves her, they escape the store. We do still get the Suddenly Seymour... we get, a Suddenly Seymour reprise instead of a Somewhere That's Green reprise.
Does he die, or is he feeling conflicted?
Because she's like, I still love you even though you killed people. Here's a song.
Ooh.
Then
Kinda fucked up.
Jim Belushi shows up. and
Not
is
John
like-
Belushi. Jim Belushi.
Not John Belushi from
Jimmy-
the Blues
Jimmy
Brothers.
Belushi.
It's Jim Belushi
Got it.
Jam
from
Belushi.
Twin Peaks.
Got it.
Season 3.
Got it.
Like 3 episodes.
Got it.
It's pretty
Good
funny.
episodes?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah, he like
But those-
runs
Is that-
a
is that-
casino.
Oh, that's pretty
Wait,
good.
he
pretty
runs
fun.
a casino?
Yeah.
Or he robs a casino?
No, he Wait,
Don't spoilers.
I can't remember. Anyway, season 3 is a fucking dream. Anyway, they're approached by Jim Belushi, and Jim Belushi's like, "Hey, I want to sell the cuttings of the plant worldwide." It's the same sort of thing.
Yeah. And they say no,
And they say no,
and they kill him.
and
Whoa.
I'm predicting this. My autism's in overdrive. Let's go.
no, they don't kill him. They're like, "Get out of here. We hate you." Actually,
What about
we
the
hate
plant?
You. I guess they take it off of him because he
As
doesn't
if-
end up
as
selling.
if they don't have more clippings back at the lab.
Yeah.
I guess this is their only
Well, that
clipping.
might be... If I was making this, they take it off him,
Yeah.
they kick him out,
And
there's
then
no more
he-
thing. But then it cuts to, like, a gutter shot, and there's, like, a little sapling there.
Ah,
you
yeah.
know,
This
like
is
that.
a studio cut, so it doesn't
No,
need
it's
to
a-
make sense either.
Yeah,
I hate that.
it's true.
So they drive him away, and then Rick Moranis is like, "All right, once and for all, I've got to kill Audrey too." So he goes back to the shop. We get Mean Green Mother from outer space.
Yeah.
The shop still gets destroyed.
How does he kill Tui though?
Well, he kills Tui by grabbing an exposed electrical cable and electrocuting Audrey 2 to death that results in an explosion where Tui
Sad.
explodes.
Well,
That could have been pretty gooey. Just
I bet that was
saying.
wet.
Yeah.
I bet that was slimy. I bet that was gooby.
Ooh. So Tui explodes. And that's how...
Feed me.
Feed me.
But like
me
gore
your-
and slime.
Gory slime.
And then, very similar to the Blade Runner theatrical cut, we then cut
Happy
to
ending.
the suburbs, and they're married, and they've got a new house. But in the house is
There's a plant.
There's a plant, and it's
see,
smiling.
there it is.
Yeah,
I
I
knew
like
it.
that. That's fun.
Yeah.
So it's still kind of fun. It's still a bit goofy. It's very much like a crowd pleaser ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very
That doesn't sound like-
ambiguous ending, whereas
Yeah.
the other the director's cut is very obvious
Yes.
that the plants take over the world and
Yes.
everyone dies.
But this
Yeah.
one is a little bit less that. I would like to watch this
this
version
seems
at some
fun.
point.
This seems goofy. I'm down.
I feel like I would have been just as satisfied
Me
with
too.
this ending.
I
sure.
probably
The other one.
maybe more because
Really?
Oh, really?
because I think
Wow, you're such an American audience.
don't ever say that to me again.
Oof, that's a big...
Don't ever.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it.
Don't
I didn't
ever
mean
say
it.
that. You could stay in a coma right now.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah, you've got the
fuck.
secrets.
Oh, shit. I forgot
You're not going to get
about
the
that.
secrets if you keep
yeah,
annoying
yeah.
Han.
I felt like the Godzilla King Kong scenes went on for too long.
So you would
Yeah,
prefer
that's fair.
this version
I
because
wouldn't
it's...
prefer it. I just want to see it and compare them because
Yeah.
I don't care about boys blowing up stuff.
Wow.
That's
I don't
fair.
care about a man in a suit running around knocking bricks down that a poor set designer has just built and then
True.
just knocked down and then built again and then knocked down and then built again.
And then build
I
again.
mean, if I was a set designer, I would love to be the one that destroyed it.
well,
that would have been good
I
fun.
feel like that would probably be a different explosives operator or something.
Yeah, I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
You know,
Just play.
I feel like I would be
Just
involved.
play Red Dead Redemption. There
Yeah,
you
I
go.
will.
Yeah.
Rob some
That'll be great.
trains.
For sure.
Blow up some train tracks.
So that's the theatrical
That's
cut, which I think is still a good ending, but I prefer the idea of them all dying.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
prefer that as an ending because they're
I
not.
like the
I
Shakespearean
like it because
tragedy.
I feel like it's more likely to be realistic of what
Yeah.
would happen.
I think the characters deserve to
yeah,
die.
Yeah,
I
for
don't
sure.
think
So
Audrey.
maybe Audrey.
I don't think Audrey deserves to die, but I
no,
think
but
all
that's,
the-
I think, the tragedy of it all, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
and
yeah.
she only dies because of his
Yeah.
like him,
His inaction.
Yeah.
But Audrey too is only like as successful at being a gooby
Yeah,
monster because
because
of
of-
her. So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
it's like that kind of
Well,
counterbalance.
For sure. I
I
agree.
would say it's Seymour's fault for sure.
100%.
Like, yeah. The only reason she's involved in this is because the plant's manipulating him because Seymour likes her,
Yes. But yeah, I think this is more the ending where the plants destroy everything is more realistic. 'Cause
yeah.
It is more
as
realistic.
consumers, we would just
right? Oh,
buy
absolutely.
For sure.
this little thing.
Yeah,
And, especially like worldwide.
I would vaughn myself
Yeah.
with that little plant.
for sure. And you love it and take, especially if it started talking to you, it's like,
Oh, yeah.
mommy. I'd be like,
sure.
I would kick it, but
Yeah.
I am sure normal people.
You'd be like, what the fuck?
yeah, I'll be like,
When you walk through an art museum, what happens?
You see some interesting things, you see some not so interesting things, and if you're like me at all, you're probably a little bit sleepy.
Well, grab a cafecito and listen up. It's Art Slice, a palatable serving of art history.
I'm Russell Shoemaker.
I'm Stephanie Dueñas. We are not your daddy's art history podcast. We are both artists, so we look at art history through that perspective. We cover the artists you know and those that have been ignored for so many different reasons.
We look at the context of the time, we compare it to today.
We don't dumb anything down, but, and this is a big but,
Heyo.
we like to have a good time, okay? Nos gusta to goof around, all right? We have hungry pantry mons that might startle you. It's a long story.
We feed them art materials. Art is just a visual language, so in order for us to interpret what we think it's saying, we hijack the work.
Right. How do you like that for an art heist?
Exactly. And ultimately, we decide if it belongs in our Art Slice Museum on top of the Art Slice Hilltop.
So if this all sounds good to you, join us on Art Slice, a palatable serving of art history.
All right, now it's time to remake the movie.
That's true. And we know
Yes.
the number one thing we're adding is a lot of sticky, gooey,
Sticky,
That's
gooey,
right.
bloody gore. Okay.
But before we
Yeah.
remake the movie, there were 2 remakes in the works that I want to talk about.
Ooh.
First remake was planned in 2020. January of 2020. Probably cancelled because of
that
COVID.
didn't
Yeah.
happen.
Womp womp.
Greg Berlanti was going to direct
Jim
it.
Belushi is going to direct it.
That would be pretty funny. Greg Berlanti is known for, he created Riverdale.
Oh,
He's
no.
in charge of he basically did everything that the CW is known for. So Flash,
Okay.
Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow,
but,
Sabrina, Dawson's Creek.
Have you seen Arrow, Sandra?
I am very familiar
Didn't
with
you
that
have an Arrow
show.
podcast about
It did very
Oh,
well.
wow.
It did very well.
So what do you think of?
I'm sick of it. No, I like Greg Berlanti. He did one movie called Love, Simon, which was like a gay romantic rom-com.
yeah.
That was actually really good.
Oh, there you go.
So I think he would be a good pick to direct this.
Because, in my opinion, Riverdale and Sabrina, the CW ones, they're ironic and self-aware. In my opinion, because I can't view them without that, because otherwise I go insane.
For sure.
And I'd
You
be
have
like,
to-
I don't
they
think
have
to know.
I,
They have to know.
yeah, I'm like, they know what they're doing, right?
Yeah,
they know that it's a joke. Why are their
Yeah.
superpowers? They're playing D&D and the stuff's
true.
coming to life.
Well, I mean, if Greg Berlanti's involved, he did do Legends of Tomorrow, which was just a very self-aware superhero show where teddy bears come to life and John Barrowman has to punch them.
That's pretty funny.
That sounds self-aware, but that,
Yeah.
I can see that. I can see that. Very gritty, but
Yeah.
dry delivery of lines,
Yes.
but also the content, the highs and low of high school football. Imagine delivering that line.
And the guy who's going to write that movie is a guy called Matthew Robinson, who wrote Love and Monsters, Dora, The Lost City of Gold, and Monster Trucks.
I love 2 out of 3 of those movies. Monster Truck is a movie that has Jane Levy and randomly Rob Lowe.
Yeah.
And it's about a subterranean alien,
Yeah.
and he feeds on gasoline,
Yeah.
Yep.
and he is trying to get back to his family. The government wants to capture him, do experiments on him, because
Yep.
they think that they can make renewable energy
Okay.
from him.
This sounds dumb.
And he lives in a truck and powers the truck.
I think-
Kind of like Turbo, but
Okay.
a little octopus creature.
I think I've seen this one.
And Jane Levy plays a horse girl, and it's very funny.
Jane Levy from Evil Dead?
Yes.
Yeah, lol, it's kind of funny.
Yes.
That sounds amazing, and I actually kind of wish this remake happened because this is a pretty good team behind it.
And the Dora the Explorer movie, it's so funny, and the references to the animated TV show
Yeah,
are
yeah.
so funny.
Yeah. Oh,
there you go.
Not annoying at all. They know how annoying Dora was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they're
okay, that's
making
good.
fun of how annoying
that's
Dora
awesome.
was.
That's great.
It was very cool. It's like Indiana Jones vibes, but if Indiana Jones was actually good and self-aware.
This remake,
Wait.
they had a cast as well.
They had a cast. They had it coming.
They had a cast.
Why did you say it so?
I don't know.
You're like,
The
they had a
first
cast.
movie, the first movie ever to have a cast.
Wait, they had a cast?
I'm editing both of you. Okay. So the cast is fucking wild and probably why this was never made. Because I like the writer and I like the director.
Yeah.
The cast was Taron Egerton as Seymour. He's the main character from
He's
Kingsman.
too buff. He's too buff.
Oh.
He's
No, I could see it in the glasses.
He
could
can
do
sing.
like nerdy.
But that's like getting Tom Hardy to. Okay, he was in.
He was in Rocket Man, so he can sing.
Yeah, and he was
Yeah.
in Sing, the animated
Oh,
movie too.
there you
He
go.
plays the. He's kind of like a Cockney gorilla.
Yeah, the
Sure.
gorilla.
Yeah.
He's like, I wanna sing, but my dad wants me to be in a
Yeah,
gang.
Yeah.
It was great. 'cause he
I liked
sings,
Sing. It was fun.
I'm Still Standing.
Yeah, I'm still standing,
Yeah.
and I think
Good
that's
song.
what landed him, Rocket Man.
Yeah.
Honestly, maybe, yeah. I
could
can
see
see
him.
him playing the nerd. I don't.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I can and can't see this.
I'd need to like visualize it. I
Okay.
definitely can't because also like he plays a lot more. I mean, in his actiony roles, I guess
Yeah.
he plays a lot more. I guess leading man,
Yeah.
romance, conventionally
Yes.
attractive characters.
I don't know.
Well-
give him a
Give him some
game of
glasses.
posture.
Give him some glasses
Yeah.
and a
Yeah.
frumpy waistcoat.
Yeah.
Well, then just wait until you hear who plays Audrey.
Yeah.
If you're like, that's a bit odd, because Audrey was Scarlett Johansson.
She's too old. I
don't like that.
I disagree.
I think that she's funny. Like that SNL skit when she's like, look at this, look at that, look at this. Like
She's
she could
funny.
do like a New
Yeah.
York accent, I think. It would be funny. I don't like her singing personally.
Oh, right. Yeah,
I like-
she would have to sing.
I like
Yeah.
her cover. She does a really good cover, and I can't remember of what song, but I prefer that to the original.
Okay.
Oh,
so
there
you
you
like
go.
one of her things. That's
I
good.
like one of her covers of one song, which is
Yeah.
one verse of one song at one time. I haven't listened to her music,
Yeah.
gone out of my way.
Yeah.
I don't think she fits. I don't think either of these fit personally.
I like the first one. I don't know about Scarlett.
I'm a bit iffy on that. But it would make the part where it's racist to Asian people. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Because she played Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
Shell. You guys remember when they did that,
was-
oopsie?
That was
That's funny.
such a...
No, because the character is not Asian in the manga, actually, so it's fine.
Actually,
She's a cyborg. It doesn't matter what race
Yeah.
she is.
There's one part of this casting that I do really like, though. Chris Evans was in talks to play
Yes.
Steve Martin's character.
Yes.
you were saying yes before you even heard what character he was playing.
I love him. Him and Knives Out. I was
Yeah.
like,
Knives Out,
He
Scott
can-
Pilgrim vibes would be good.
Yeah.
And Billy Porter from the Ryan Murphy show Pose was going to voice Audrey.
Okay.
He was in Kinky Boots.
Yeah, cool.
On stage.
Okay.
But that version was cancelled in 2022. It was indefinitely cancelled.
COVID cancelled.
Never happening. And then in March of this year, 2024, which was like, what, 2 months ago?
2 months
That's
ago.
pretty recent.
3 months when this podcast comes out. 3 months? 3 months?
maybe.
It's been
Sometime.
announced that director of Gremlins and Gremlins 2, Joe Dante,
Jim Belushi.
is going to be directing a remake of Shop of Horrors called Little Shop of Halloween Horrors.
Oh!
And it's going to be written by Charles S. House, who
Well-
also wrote Gremlins 2, which it's good. It's good.
Audrey
Yeah.
better be a pumpkin then.
Oh.
Audrey too better be a pumpkin.
Yeah, I could see the like pumpkin and then like the roots
vines,
coming out.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
the
then
pumpkin.
selling little Halloween jack-o'-lantern pumpkins.
Yeah.
And I feel like you could do way more with
Disguising
the
it.
face.
Yeah.
And you could, and it's like it could be in the open because it's Halloween, so it'd just be
Yeah.
one
Exactly.
big Halloween decoration. They'd be like, "Whoa, man, your Halloween decoration's
Oh,
crazy."
I saw your Halloween decoration
Yeah.
when I was walking
Whoa.
past.
I don't know if that
I hate
movie.
my dog.
I hate my wife.
I don't
I hate my
know.
wife, but that's a good thing. Thanks,
true.
man.
I don't know if that movie's going to go ahead though, because one of the producers was Roger Corman, who directed Little Shop of Horrors, and he died at the start of the month.
Oh.
So I don't know if that movie's going to go ahead. But
That's a bit sad.
Joe Dante coming back to do a movie would be good.
Yeah,
anyway,
absolutely.
we're going to come out with our own remake
Okay.
of Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes. I have opinions. I have thoughts. I
I'll
have
go
right.
to.
Okay.
You have the floor.
I have 2 ideas. Obviously, for the first customer, I said Joel McHale. I'm not changing that.
Yep.
I'm not changing that.
We aren't allowed to change that
No,
one,
all
Zach.
right. That's locked in, locked
Lock
in.
that one in.
Fine.
I think I have 2 ideas of how I want to do this. I think we could either do a straight remake, but I think we change the time period 20 years after the 60s, so in the 80s,
okay,
so
yeah.
when the film was made.
I like the 80s as a,
I think that's really good. Or I was saying 20 years before now, so the noughties. I just thought 20.
I feel like the 90s would be better than the noughties, personally.
Okay, well, I think the 80s then, but that's my first idea, just straight remake. Or we go full body horror action, sci-fi, dark fantasy vibes.
Ooh.
Like very gritty, edgy, very heavily.
Still a musical or not a musical
I don't
anymore?
know.
Okay.
I'm feeling very like
Oh, you have to do a musical.
heavily
surely.
stylized violence. Like I'm talking, like every single vampire movie that came out in the noughties, like
noughties.
Underworld,
Yeah,
Blade,
yeah.
Van Helsing,
For sure.
like those kind of vibes. We could make it a musical, or we could focus on like the interaction between like the aliens and the humans. Do you know what I mean? And make it like, ooh, the government has to fight the aliens, and they have to formulate a secret like a weed killer to like kill the plants. Those are my two approaches.
I like the idea, but I feel like we have to keep the musical
Okay.
part of it.
I think we got to keep the
That's-
musical.
I am
Yeah.
too attached
That's
to
fair.
it as a musical.
I just wanted it to be Gobia.
Yeah.
We can
but-
still make it a bit more gory.
Oh, absolutely.
I think.
We're having that coat of slime.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
And everyone
like
that
a
gets
little
spit out has to
sticky-
get like slime.
Yeah, they're all
slimified.
coated in like a
Yeah.
slime thing. Yeah.
For sure.
When I heard Tui sing, like for the first time, I was like Keith David. Like he's an amazing voice actor. He has that like gruff, sensual voice.
Yep.
And he can sing.
Yep.
He also plays like not a similar character, but in Has Been Hotel, he does like a very gruff kind of the voice that I would envision for Tui.
Okay.
That's my pick.
I think for the managed guy, what's his name in the movie?
The marketing
the marketing guy or the guy who owns
The guy who owns the
Mr.
florist.
Muchnick.
Well, I was actually thinking Hugh Jackman.
Oh, he'd be good actually.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
well, we gotta get Hugh Jackman.
Yeah,
we gotta get Hugh
that's who
Jackman.
I was thinking of the whole time. I was like, well, musicals.
I think he could definitely, because I don't want him in the main role, but I think he would
Yeah.
No, I think so
be
too.
really good. Yeah.
I like him because I think he's old enough for that sort of
For sure.
role.
I agree.
I agree.
But for Seymour and Audrey, Zach, who's like a modern day Rick Moranis is so hard to. No one brings the energy that Rick Moranis brings to movies.
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito. I'm like, I can't think of Seymour, but I think like maybe, like, do we want people that can sing or do we want actors?
I think we want people who can sing.
Okay,
Probably
so
we want singers. If we are singing in this, we probably want singers
okay,
first.
so I was
right?
thinking, you know how Ellen Green was in the stage production
Yeah.
of Little Shop of Horrors. So
Yeah.
Beetlejuice is a musical as well.
Yeah, it's coming next year, I think.
Yeah,
to,
and
to
so
Melbourne. Yeah.
So the actress that played Lydia Dietz, Sophia Curacao, I believe.
Yeah.
She's like 23.
Yeah.
And she won an award for Beetlejuice. So
Right.
she's very
Boom.
good. Yeah, she's a singer. She
Sophia and Curacao.
Yeah. I don't know how well she would do.
There's only one way to find out.
Exactly.
Put her in the movie.
Put her in the
Boom.
movie.
Oh, she was the lead in The School for Good and Evil from 2 years ago. Netflix
yes,
movie.
That was really long for no fucking reason.
I'm happy for us to put
No,
her in.
I'm just saying. There was a certain actor recently.
Tom Hopper.
No, that won an award for their singing in a popular movie.
Yes.
Is it or Ariana Grande?
No,
No.
it was a male actor that
Who
won
are you
a
talking about?
in the Barbie movie.
Oh, Ryan Gosling.
Ryan
That's
Gosling
good.
That's funny.
Is pretty funny. I was
He's-
just thinking Ryan Gosling.
He could be Oren, like the dentist.
Oh yeah, Ryan
I could
Gosling
see
was the
that,
dentist.
Could be the
actually.
dentist.
Yeah,
He's got that unhinged.
pick.
He's got
Yeah.
that unhinged energy.
And he
Yeah.
can sing. And that's
Yeah.
a cameo if we don't
and it would
put
be
it in
really
as well.
funny seeing him in like a purely evil role.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Boom.
really like that as well.
Done.
I think that's so funny.
I have an idea
Yes.
for Seymour. The actor's probably a bit. The actor. Oh no,
Rude.
he's 29. Shamik Moore, who is Miles Morales in the Into the Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah.
He's-
He's got that like voice to be like.
Well, he's in a TV show called The Get Down, which is all about the birth of
Yes.
hip hop in America, and that show is a musical, and he does songs
That's
in it.
cool.
There
So
you go.
like he's pretty good. I reckon he could do
I like
it.
that.
yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Zach, who should direct this?
I don't fucking know.
All right.
When
Han, who should direct
well,
this?
that Gremlins guy seems
Yeah.
pretty good. Let's get him involved.
When I first saw this, I was like, did Danny DeVito direct this? Because it has Duplex and what's something else that he's directed?
We reviewed Throw Mama from the Train,
Throw Mama
which he directed.
from the Train. Yeah. It's got that like unhinged,
That's
surreal,
funny,
like
having us pick Danny DeVito, but as the director, not one
he's
as
a
the
good
writing
director.
actors.
Like
Yeah.
I like his work. It's funny. It's
He likes to live
surreal.
life on the edge.
It's very like dark, especially like Duplex. It's very dark, but like done in a funny way. And I think that he could definitely do that. It's very like appropriate for children, but like adult humor. Do you know what I mean?
This movie is very dark, but also a musical, so it's really happy. So
yeah.
All right.
I
That's
think
my
DeVito
pick.
could do it.
Let's get DeVito in as the director, and he can play the Jim Belushi character.
Now, I'd just
I
like to
love
point
it.
this out to the podcast. This doesn't count as us picking Danny DeVito
No,
because
this
this is
doesn't
a
count.
director. It
Well,
doesn't
also,
count.
yeah, it doesn't count.
So this one doesn't count. So we can use Danny DeVito next week. If
So we put Chris
Exactly.
Pratt in something this year. We're throwing all the rules out.
Garfield.
That's true.
No, he should voice Stewie. Chris Pratt should voice Stewie.
No.
But doing a black sir.
Absolutely not.
He'd do it.
Absolutely
Of
not.
course he would.
All right, we've almost been recording for 3 hours. So
Wow.
with that remake right there, we're going to wrap this one. This has been a long episode, but it's the
is
first
true.
episode in our studio, and we're...
It's nice.
We're
Well
having
done.
fun. Having
Well
a fun
done,
time.
boys. Well
Yeah.
done.
Thank you.
I think those didn't help.
I don't know
you
what
did
you're talking
stop
about.
doing them about like halfway through, which was very
Yeah.
funny.
That's true. But I keep going back to them every now and then.
That's it.
But anyway, that will get boring in maybe one more episode.
I doubt it.
Negative one more episode, maybe.
Actually, I think we're recording
everyone
online
negatively review the podcast.
No, don't do that.
If you don't like the new special effects.
All right. Well, we're going to speed through the end of the episode, which
Well,
does
we'll get some
include...
more special effects later.
That's true.
Yeah.
Which does include picking next week's movie. But first, Han, you got stuff to plug?
Hi, I stream on Twitch sometimes.
You do?
I play mostly horror games and
that's bold.
indie games.
Oh, scary.
Yeah, you can find me www.twitch.tv/hauntedbyhan. It's pretty
sick.
hog. I'm on all the socials. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Letterboxd.
That's a joke.
Yeah, don't follow me on there. That's kind of cringe, actually.
But what games have you played recently?
Have I played recently? I played Alone in the Dark, which is a remake of a 90s cult classic.
That game looks terrible. Did you like it?
It was terrible, and
Yeah,
I tried
okay.
to get a refund from Steam, and they didn't let me, which was funny
Really?
Wow.
because it was.
Usually they're pretty lenient.
No, I know, and it was $90, so like it
Wow.
was
Yeah.
a sizable chunk of change.
That's a pretty expensive game.
But
Yikes.
besides that, I've just been playing some smaller indie games that I've been graciously gifted with from a couple of different studios. So I'm very, very happy to continue doing
that's awesome.
that. Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Links in the episode description. Zach, we're on Facebook. We're on Instagram at Oldie Buddy Goody Pod. We are actually.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go.
I don't follow us, but
Who uses Facebook anymore?
for real, who uses Meta anymore? You can email us oldiebuddygoodypod@gmail.com if you
You
want.
can leave a comment under this YouTube video.
Oh, yeah,
and
you can
say,
do that.
That's
Where's
true.
the movie?
Where's the movie?
That's right. Do that.
If you're a true fan, you'll
You'll
go to
know.
the comments.
Yeah,
and
if you're a
say,
true fan right now,
Yeah, right now.
you'll go to
Yeah.
the comments and say, "Where's the movie?"
Where's the movie? We're also on patreon.com/oldiebuddygoody. Zach, coming out
Whoa.
this Wednesday
Bum, bum, bum.
is the first ever episode of the K-Drama.
I'm
I'm so excited for this season.
Zach, what's the K-Drama?
The Cage-a-rama is part of our Patreon thing where
Yeah.
we watch a whole bunch of Nick Cage movies.
Oh my god, 2 a month for 3 weeks. 2 a month for 3 months.
Yep, it's a lot of Cage movies. We watch lots of Cage movies, and luckily for us, there's a lot of Nick
There
Cage
are a
movies.
There's a lot out there.
Specifically, this month, we're starting with The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Love that movie.
Which is an unbearably good movie.
It is.
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal's in it. It's good.
Ah,
true.
It's a
You should
banger.
watch it.
And just like you, they're high for most of it as well.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, no.
That's out on Patreon
man.
on Wednesday, and then after that, we're doing a Scorsese Nick Cage film, which will be
Ooh.
interesting. It'll be good fun.
yeah.
That's all up there, and plus so many other back catalogs of stuff. Get everything, and you get ad-free episodes of the show too, so that's a plus. All that links in the episode description. Zach, I've got to pick next week's movie, which is from 1987.
Well, 1987, there's a lot of good movies.
Really? What are some of those movies?
Like Good Morning Vietnam.
Oh, that is a good movie, I
Yeah.
think.
Is it?
I don't remember.
It's fine.
I think it's a good movie.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I like Robin Williams. He's
Yeah,
good.
Yeah,
Robin
yeah,
Williams
yeah.
just carries anything.
I like how we've already covered 1987 on the podcast, and
Yeah.
instead of picking a movie that we've reviewed, you went for one of the ones that we didn't do.
I wanted to
kinda
pick
funny.
that.
There are actually a lot of movies from 87 that we didn't get to, like
The Running Man.
The Running... No, we did do that one.
Oh, right. Yeah, we did do that one. Sorry, my
like
bad.
Predator. Wait, no, we did
Oh,
Predator.
We did that one. What about Superman 4, The Quest for Peace?
We did do Superman 4. He throws
Oh,
the nukes
yeah,
in
we
the
did
sun.
do Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
The Princess Bride, we did that one.
I love that movie.
What about Jaws, The Revenge?
We did that on the
we did
episode
that
with
one
Superman
with
4.
Superman. Oh, yeah. How could I forget that?
Nice.
And Masters of the Universe, we did that one. There's a lot of...
This is hard.
Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh, I love Harry. That was so funny.
Fucking what nightmare.
What
fuel
is
was.
that?
It's
Have
a
you not seen
Sasquatch.
Harry and the Hendersons? Oh my god, let me get you a picture of Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah, it's a Sasquatch movie. A kid finds a Sasquatch and they have to try
It's
and
like
get the Sasquatch back home.
E.T., but
Yes.
for a Sasquatch?
Yes.
Yep.
The episode that we did for that, Zach, was like 3 hours long too.
Why does he look like that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you like his teeth?
I hate
really like
everything
his
about
teeth.
it.
The episode that we did on that is...
this is a good picture. Look at that. Oh yeah.
That's gonna haunt my nightmares now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Harry and the Hendersons is nightmare fuel. And
The
his teeth
episode
are
that we did for that is a lot of fun. Go check it out if you haven't, listeners.
I will be
God.
checking this out because this is so
full-body
cursed.
PNG.
Oh my god! It's just a guy in
I
a
hate
suit,
it.
but that's
that one is cursed.
Terrifying,
Oh,
terrifying,
yeah,
nightmare
look at
fuel.
that.
There's a lot of movies from 1987 that we didn't do on the main show, but we did do on Patreon, like The Lost Boys and Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
Yeah, that
that
was
is a
great.
vampire movie.
The Lost Boys?
Yes.
RoboCop was really good
Spoilers.
as well.
RoboCop is fun. There's a lot of good movies here, but Zach, I know what I'm picking.
Oh, you know what you're picking?
What are you picking?
Because you
Just
made
make sure it isn't one of the ones we've already done, Sandra.
Yeah, that would be embarrassing.
Like Hellraiser,
Hellraiser, yeah.
Full Metal Jacket.
We do. Yeah, with that, I think we did that one on Patreon, actually.
Yeah.
What are army
Oh,
movies?
There are a lot of army movies. Oh, Mannequin, that was funny. Raising Arizona, one of the best.
Raising
Nicolas
Arizona.
Cage, there you
yeah,
go.
speaking of Cage, yeah, that was probably one of my top favorite movies of all time.
It's great.
Let alone
Wow.
Nick Cage movies.
It's one of the best movies ever made, yeah, for sure. I'm picking a movie from 1987 that we haven't done because Zach, when we had the options for 1984, you picked the Ewok movie because you were trolling me.
I was.
Oh no!
And I regret it, but also I don't at all.
So I'm going to do the same thing to you.
Oh, fuck.
I'm going to pick a bad movie
Shit.
to make you watch it because you're annoying.
Wow.
That's so rude.
That was really
Yeah,
mean.
so
That's not true
rude.
at all. You're one of my good friends, and I'm going to pick a movie that I know you're going to enjoy.
Oh, I'm
That's
going to
nice.
enjoy.
Because Zach, I know that you liked New York Ninja,
I did.
so I'm going to pick
Terrible
another
fucking
movie.
movie. But, like, I enjoyed it, yeah.
So I'm going to pick a movie that's just New York Ninja again.
Well, what?
I'm going to pick a movie that's martial arts in the 80s where knowing karate was just a superpower.
Oh my goodness, we talked about this earlier.
We
how
did.
America was obsessed with the East.
yeah.
But we're
But, like,
so ignorant that
yeah.
they just fucked it all up.
It's true.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pick a famous cult classic movie called Miami Connection, which is just some guy who knows Taekwondo wanting to make a movie.
That's so slay. I love that. Good for him. As he should. Pop off king.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure.
Are you excited for this
Go
one,
for
Zach?
it. How much on a scale of 1 to New York Ninja is this movie?
Probably like an 8.
Wow.
That's pretty high.
That's very similar.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty similar.
I'm kind of excited
New York
now.
Ninja was ironic because they had to re-record all the audio themselves.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Oh.
but also they did just hire like porn stars to do all the voice acting from memory, didn't
As
they?
you do. As you do. I
love New
Should
York
have hired
Ninja.
me.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, it's so gooby.
Feed me.
Feed me.
All right. Well, we're gonna do that next week. Zach, I'm just gonna teleport you to 87. This episode's so long that you've lost.
I'm still
You've
a
lost
little
all
high,
exposition
man. Yeah, I'm
privileges.
Still a little drugged, man. Feeling a little
Yes,
groggy, dude.
you are really high, Zach.
I'm still haunted by this fucking spectral projection of you.
Well,
like,
if only there was some sort of exposition that could help you get rid of me and also your highness.
wait,
Just
Hans
like,
here?
stop thinking about it. Like, just try really hard to think, and then it'll go away.
I've never tried thinking before.
You should try it.
Yeah,
It's pretty
I
good
should-
sometimes.
Oh no! Zach has realized that this whole season is inside of his mind, and therefore I am being disappeared. Oh my god, Zach, you
thank
did
God.
it. You did it. You did it.
Yay.
Killed him. Thank fucking Christ.
You did it. You did it.
Wait, so I could do that the whole time?
Yeah.
You just like
You
think
can
something and it would
control your thoughts.
happen? You can?
Anyway, I've said too much.
Oh.
I gotta go, and then I'm waddling off in my little pot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
She's
'cause
dragging herself
there's a
away.
plant.
She's going
Oh,
on.
Zach, don't listen to our guest who's left the show and now won't be able to talk, so I'm going to mute their microphone.
Wow.
Zach,
Rude.
I'll unmute it. Zach,
She's
don't-
over there. Like she
I'm
waddles-
just in the
she's a
corner.
No, 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 I'm muting
They
you
have,
again.
they have a plant pot. They're not getting away anytime soon. Like,
Help!
pretty
no,
good.
Zach, don't listen to our guest. You're not in a coma. No, this is all fun supernatural stuff. You're not in a coma. You can't take control of the reality or anything.
Don't worry, I'll be back.
oh,
To help
No,
you.
don't listen to them. You can't take control of this. This isn't a dream, Zach. It isn't a coma. You can't take control.
Spin the
Okay.
Inception token.
Yeah.
Spin the thing.
top.
Yeah.
The spinning top.
You can't-
Ah. Yeah, all right, Sandra, I'll play your game, but I'm going to keep this in mind now that I'm not feeling drugged anymore, you know, and I just thought about that.
You're not
you
feeling
know?
drugs because it wore off because the episode was so long. Definitely not because you are taking control with your mind.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a plot point that will come in later.
I'm opening a portal and going to 87.
God, I'm going to the 87. See you later, hon. Thanks for your vote.
I'm in the corner.